What if the Sage of Six Paths grew discontent with the state of the shinobi world and uncovered his mother's plan to return from her imprisonment? Seeking to prevent her revival, Hagoromo chooses Naruto, Asura's latest reincarnation, as his own successor. Follow Naruto's journey as he navigates life bearing the prime powers once wielded by the sage himself. 5 years after the Nine Tails incident, rain poured steadily as Naruto sat in the mud watching children, who never included him in their games, walk away hand in hand with their parents. Alone as always, he stayed there in silence until eventually standing up. Might as well head back, not like anyone's waiting for me, Naruto thought bitterly. He dragged his feet home, entered his apartment, shut the door behind him, locked it, changed into pajamas, and collapsed into bed, drifting off to sleep. Unknown realm, Naruto awakened in a strange place and looked around, only to spot a man floating in the air. The figure wore red samurai armor beneath a white cloak, and held a kakara staff ringed with metal on one end and nearly a full circle on the other. He had red hair, a kind smile framed by a triangular beard, 9 black spheres orbiting below him, and eyes with ripple-like patterns across lavender sclerae. "Greetings, Naruto," the man said, his voice kind but echoing with ancient strength. Naruto instinctively backed away, unsure if this stranger was a threat. "Relax, I won't harm you," the man reassured him. Naruto looked at him curiously. "How do you know my name?" "That's simple, I can recognize one of my own blood," he replied calmly. "I am Hagoromo OTSUTSUKI, though you may know me as the Sage of Six Paths." Naruto's eyes widened. Even he knew of the legendary figure said to have created all shinobi arts. "You're the guy who created ninjutsu." "Ninshu," Hagoromo corrected, clearly displeased. "Ninshu? Yes, I created Ninshu to promote peace, not for war as your ancestors twisted it into," he said with regret in his voice. "So why are you here?" "I've come to train you as my successor in the ways of Ninshu." "Successor?" Naruto asked, stunned. "Yes, you shall inherit the power of both Indra and Asura, and of my daughter Mocha from the Uzumaki line." Hagoromo waved his staff over a pool of water that appeared midair. As the ripples cleared, Naruto saw an image of a man with short-cut long brown hair, bandaged side locks, blue markings around noble-looking eyes, and a high-collared kimono. Then the scene shifted to a second man similar, with spiky brown hair, a blank forehead protector, and a similar robe. "Let me give you a brief lesson in the past," Hagoromo began. 1,000 years ago, my mother, Kaguya, desired to end all human conflict. Believing immense power was the only path, she defied nature and consumed the Shinju's fruit. With her new abilities, she halted all warfare and was worshipped as the rabbit goddess. But over time, power twisted her heart, and she no longer trusted people. She forced her vision of peace on humanity by casting them into the infinite Tsukiyomi, a dream trap that transformed her from savior to tyrant. In time, she became the Ten Tails to reclaim chakra from her sons, Hamura and me. We battled her and sealed her essence into the moon. Hamura left for the moon with our clan, while I remained to teach humanity how to use chakra and build peace through Ninshu. I entrusted this dream to my sons. Indra was gifted but prideful and cold. Asura had no innate talent but worked hard, gained strength through bonds, and embraced compassion. I chose Asura to carry on my vision of peace. To stabilize the world, I split the Ten Tails chakra into 9 beings, the tailed beasts. Eventually, I passed away, but conflict between Indra and Asura's descendants continued. Before my death, I recorded everything in a stone tablet only decipherable with the Rinnegan, hoping future generations would understand. Sadly, I was unaware that Black Zetsu, my mother's will incarnate, had altered it to manipulate Indra's bloodline into reviving Kaguya and repeating the nightmare. My daughter Mocha revealed all this to me after my death. "What does any of this have to do with me?" Naruto asked, hanging on every word. "I've chosen you to be the one who completes Ninshu's purpose. You hold the vitality of the Senju and the spiritual strength of the Uzumaki. With your potential, you will reshape the world's destiny." Hagoromo summoned another watery mirror. This time it showed a battlefield. On one side stood Madara with spiky hair and a gunbai fan. On the other, Hashirama with his massive sword and scroll on his back. "Why did it come to this, Madara?" Hashirama asked sorrowfully. "Our clans will never know peace," Madara replied before raising his weapon. "But that's irrelevant now. Let's finish this." They clashed, Madara on the 9 tails and Hashirama atop towering branches. As the tailed beast launched a tailed beast bomb, Hashirama summoned a wooden dragon to intercept it. Next, he called forth a giant wooden golem to repel the blast, which Madara's Susanoo blocked. Explosions erupted. Dust clouded the air. He cloaked the nine tails in Susanoo, Hashirama muttered, astounded. You never stop scheming, Madara. The clash continued with devastating force. Massive wooden hands sprouted from the ground in Hashirama's next move, only for Madara's blade to obliterate them, and several mountains in the process. Rocks flew as Hashirama leapt toward the sea. At this rate, everything here will be reduced to rubble, Hashirama muttered grimly. We must take this elsewhere. Behind him, Madara gave chase, roaring as the battle raged on. You won't escape this time. Hashirama surged forward, leaping the final distance until his feet touched the coastline. Kurama, charging upright on his hind legs, began forming another tailed beast bomb. Madara coiled a sword's chain around it and flung it toward Hashirama, a thrill in his voice. Catch this if you can. Hashirama skidded to a stop and bit his thumb before slamming his palm onto the earth. Summoning Jutsu. Fivefold Rashomon. Massive demonic gates erupted from the ground, towering in defense. This will redirect the attack. Madara narrowed his visible eye. The bladed-tailed beast bomb tore through the gates with ease but veered off course, crashing into a distant mountainside in a blazing eruption. It's been too long since we've fought like this, Hashirama. You can see I'm not who I used to be. Hashirama pressed his hands together, remaining completely motionless. You're willing to destroy everything. Everything we built together, Madara. Fighting like this will only weaken our people and the shinobi of the village. You're betraying our comrades and families. You don't understand I don't want to kill you. So you're saying you could end me anytime? No. I'm saying we're friends. I've already surpassed that. Kurama let out a deafening roar. Then I have no choice. Red pigment formed around Hashirama's eyes. Sage style. Would release true thousand hands. A colossal wooden statue emerged behind him. Come, Madara. Show me what you've got, Hashirama. Madara shouted as they launched into combat, cries echoing across the battlefield. Buddha's fury. The massive statue hammered down a flurry of fists. Madara countered with bladed-tailed beast bombs, but the relentless barrage broke through, smashing into the armored Kurama. When the dust settled, both Madara and a portion of the Nine Tails were exposed. He broke through the Susanoo armor, Madara gasped. Hashirama separated the statue from its arms and charged, grabbing Kurama, dwarfed by the sheer scale of the construct, and holding him firm. A wooden golem coiled in a dragon descended. With its palm marked by the kanji for sit, it touched Kurama, whose crimson eyes dimmed before he collapsed into slumber. Madara had barely leapt away in time. Hashirama landed across from his old friend. They locked eyes for a moment, then charged again. Madara, Hashirama. Their battle raged on. Eventually, Hashirama's sage mode faded, and Madara's Sharingan gave out. Both warriors were drained. Rain poured, the land torn asunder. Madara glared at his rival with a smirk. This time, you won't reach the other side. They charged across the newly formed river, Madara wielding his scythe and gunbai, Hashirama with a short katana. Their blades clashed samurai style. Madara landed on his feet. Hashirama, however, collapsed into the stream. Madara glanced over his shoulder to see him struggling to rise. Looks like I'm still standing. Not like last time. I just wanted to protect. The dream we once shared, I don't want any more. You've grown pathetic, Hashirama, not bouncing back this time, huh? Madara smirked, until he was suddenly impaled through the heart from behind. He turned in disbelief to see a wooden clone where Hashirama had been. Wood clone, I didn't even sense it. I'll protect our dream, no, my village, with everything I have. The safety of our people, of the shinobi and the children, comes before all else, even if the threat is a friend, a sibling, or my own child. Madara dropped to his knees. You've changed, Hashirama, you've lost sight of balance. One day, that devotion will lead the village to ruin. With that, Madara fell. Moments later, Hashirama collapsed from exhaustion. The scene faded to black and shattered. As you saw, when Indra and Asura clash, their convictions force them to fight to the bitter end, Hagoromo spoke solemnly. And what's that got to do with me? Naruto asked. You are Asura's reincarnation. You also carry the chakra of my daughter Mocha. I will now bestow upon you a gift, the combined power of the two warriors you just witnessed. Naruto nearly jumped with joy but kept himself composed. Hagoromo wasn't finished. But there's more. When those three energies converge, they create the Rinnegan, far surpassing even the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. At this, Naruto couldn't contain himself and bounced off the walls with excitement. Eventually, he turned to his new mentor, ready to begin. Then, a pale man with long white hair and no eyebrows appeared beside a small girl. The man had short bangs to the left and a long lock hanging on the right, along with horn-like protrusions and the Byakugan. He wore a white robe with 6 black magatama around the collar and a sword at his hip. A yin symbol marked his left palm. The girl was instantly recognizable, Hinata Hyuga, heiress of her clan, and one of the few who ever cared about Naruto. "Hamura, Hagoromo, why are you here?" they shouted at each other. "I'm training my successor in preparation for what's coming," Hagoromo said flatly. "In my pocket realm I created." "Our pocket realm, idiot," they bickered. Naruto and Hinata exchanged confused glances. After some arguing, Hagoromo raised a hand to settle it. "All right, we agree we built this place together." "Yeah, and we both brought our chosen successors here, unaware the other had the same idea." "Exactly, and having them train together might actually help them grow." "Fair enough," Hamura nodded. Both turned to their disciples. "You two will undergo 8 years of training to master your new powers." But what about our lives back home?" Hinata asked nervously. "Hagoromo will create soul clones to maintain your daily lives while you train here." "Of course you dumped that on me," Hagoromo grumbled. "You're the only one who can do it," Hamura replied. With a huff, Hagoromo vanished. "Let's begin. This training will push you beyond anything you've ever known." 8 years later, Hinata and Naruto stood opposite one another. Both had transformed. Naruto now wore a white, high-collared cloak trimmed in black, with dark shinobi pants and a necklace of 6 magatama. A gunbai rested on his back, and a sleek black and silver sword with red flame accents hung at his hip. Horns protruded from his forehead, and his deep blue eyes radiated immense power. His hair now mirrored his father's. Hinata wore a lavender sleeveless kimono top-tied with a dark sash, navy shorts with thigh-high stockings, and black high-heeled boots. Her hair now reached her hips, and at her side rested the real sword of the Thunder God, once wielded by Tobirama Senju. She was no longer timid, she had become the strongest kunoichi in history. "This will be your final exam," Hagoromo declared. "Go all out, pretend your lives depend on it." "Hi, sensei," both responded, eyes locked. "Holding back will mean harsh consequences," Hamura warned. "Yeah, we get it." Naruto rolled his eyes. "Naruto-kun, please be patient," Hinata said calmly. "Let's let our teachers begin the match." "No objections." "Then begin." Both unleashed their chakra gold and silver from Naruto, a royal purple from Hinata. "Tenseigen, Rinnegan," they shouted. Naruto was wrapped in golden light, ascending to his 6 paths form, 9 truth-seeking orbs behind him. Hinata radiated a green light, with her own orbs floating behind her. They didn't hesitate. They clashed immediately, every strike cratering the earth, every surge of power raising the landscape. Trees, mountains, everything crumbled beneath their battle. Hagoromo and Hamura simply watched. Naruto roared, his voice fracturing the sky itself. A cyclone burst outward, lightning splitting the heavens, and he grinned. Forbidden art. Obliteration. Hinata encased herself in the black orbs of destruction, and the resulting shockwave wiped everything nearby from existence. As the smoke cleared, the terrain lay in ruins, and Naruto clutched his left eye, laughing wildly. I had a feeling showing him the Jubai's Heaven Cataclysm was a mistake. He went and built his own version using his chakra, Hagoromo muttered, sweat trailing down his face. "You mischievous Naruto-kun, you know why we categorized that as illusionary warfare," Hinata said, stepping out from her protective cloak of black spheres. "I just thought it looked awesome," Naruto grinned. "Naruto-kun," Hinata growled. "We were told not to hold back, remember?" Naruto replied with a shrug. Hinata rolled her eyes, then smirked and brought her hands together. "Then get ready, seduction style. Ultimate distraction technique." In a flash, she transformed into a completely nude version of herself, and Naruto was launched backward by his own nosebleed. Wiping his face, he chuckled. "Cheeky Hinata Heim. You stole my original trick and fine-tuned it to mess with me. And like you wouldn't pull the same move." "True, but playtime's over." Naruto clapped his hands and entered Sage mode. Nature release. Deep Forest Avatar. With a rumble, a colossal wooden figure emerged, dwarfing even a fully transformed Kurama and a complete Susanoo. The statue bore 1,000 arms in layered formation, its primary hands joined in a prayer pose. Naruto pushed forward with both hands. Supreme Thousand-Hand Strike. A barrage of wooden fists rained down on Hinata, who struggled to evade them. Each impact reshaped the land, until one direct hit sent her flying, coughing up blood, her right eye tearing up from the strain of her emergency technique. Amenojikara, huh? So the Tenseigen can handle space-time bending just like the Rinnegan. And you thought you were the only one with that trick. You've grown strong, princess. Well, a girl's gotta toughen up if she wants to survive in this shinobi world. Naruto summoned a swirling sphere and began infusing it with elemental nature transformations. Elemental Genesis Sphere. 8 palms, collapsing Twin Lions barrage, both combatants charged. Hinata flooded her technique with chakra and Naruto readied his new Rasengan. The two powers collided, shaking the earth and sky. For a moment, the techniques were equal before they detonated simultaneously, throwing both fighters back. Naruto slowly stood, scratched and bloodied, licking blood off his arm. This feeling, this pain, Naruto laughed maniacally. This is what it means to be alive. Hinata sighed and rubbed her temple. Naruto-kun, when was this body not yours? Ah, sorry Hinata-heim, he said, scratching his head. Well, that wraps up training for now, Hagoromo muttered, still sweating at their antics. Hinata, you've surpassed even my teachings, Hemura added proudly. But Naruto, there's one more thing I can show you. Hagoromo formed hand signs and slammed his palm into the earth. Summoning demonic statue of the outer path, a massive, rotting humanoid emerged, its robe-like form riddled with spikes. Are you serious, brother? He's ready, Hemura. If you say so. Summoning. The 9-tailed beasts. In a cloud of smoke, all 9-tailed beasts appeared. Father, Shukaku blinked. Yes, Shukaku. Why have you called us? Matatabi asked. You're here to meet my successor, Naruto Uzumaki. He doesn't look that strong, Aisabu scoffed. Naruto twitched, but Hagoromo just smiled. Then why not put that to the test? Aisabu, for once in your life don't, Kurama warned. Stay out of this, Aisabu retorted and swung a tail at Naruto. Naruto casually caught it and looked unimpressed. He wasn't wrong. With a spin, Naruto flung Aisabu into the air and launched a punch that sent him crashing back to the ground. The turtle beast crawled back to the group, visibly shaken. Still unimpressed? Hagoromo asked. Not at all, Aisabu mumbled. My children, lend me your chakra once more. I must reconstruct the 10 tails. So he's the one? Juki asked. Yes, Juki. Each beast placed a tail upon their father, sharing their chakra. Creation of yin-yang. Beast Genesis. Suddenly, 9 clones of the tailed beast stood before them. The demonic statue's chains lashed out, sealing the clones within. Then, emerging from the smoke was a towering, white-furred wolf with glowing blue accents and a circular mark around its left eye. What, where am I? The beast asked, rubbing its eyes. Hello again, 10 tails. The wolf turned sharply. You, I'm not thrilled to see you either, but your strength is necessary. I'm not some tool. I was placed by the heavens to guard the world, not be used. I know what the Divine One wanted, and that Kaguya violated that duty, Kurama said solemnly. How do you know her intent? She and I are close. We don't keep secrets. Then if you want me to cooperate, I need proof of your vessel's worth. I'll test his heart. The beast pressed its tail to Naruto. A moment passed before it smiled. His soul is pure. But I have one demand, the fox must go. No way, I don't abandon comrades, Naruto shouted. It's all right, Naruto, Kurama said gently. If this is what's needed, I'll go willingly. Hold up. I said Kurama couldn't work with me, not that your friend couldn't. Hinata stepped forward. I'll harbor Kurama's power, Naruto-kun. Naruto placed his hand on her and transferred Kurama's energy. His vision dimmed, his body weakening, until the wolf touched him, merging their energies and restoring him. Let's talk inside, Naruto said and entered his mind. Moments later, he stood before the 10 tails. This place is warm. Peaceful, the beast said. If we're going to work together, I want to treat you like a friend. Do you have a name? Lobo. Nice to meet you, Lobo. Naruto extended his fist. Lobo met it. Their combined chakra surged. Back in reality, Naruto turned to the others. It seems you've bonded with the 10 tails better than I ever did, Hagoromo admitted. Before we go, I'd like to know your names, and your Jinchuriki, Naruto asked the tailed beasts. I'm Shukaku. My partner is Gara of the Sand. I always go nuts with him around, the tanuki grumbled. Matatabi. Yujito Ne from Kumo is my host, the flaming feline said. Aisabu Yagura of Kiri is my Jinchuriki. Though he's being controlled, the turtle growled. Does he wear a mask with flame patterns? Yeah. Then he's the one who made me attack the leaf years ago. I am Son Goku, great sage equaling heaven. My partner is Roshi of Iwa, best not visit him, the ape warned. Kokuo, my host is Han from Iwa, the white beast added. Seiken, Utakata, a rogue from Mist, is mine, the bubbly slug said. Chomai, my host's name is Fu from Taki, the beetle chimed. Juki. Killer Bee of Kumo is my partner, the oxoctopus rumbled. And you already know me, Kurama finished. I think it's time for you two to return to the world, Hemura said. Naruto and Hinata nodded. Naruto's eternal Mangekyo swirled, warping the world around them. As they vanished, Hemura turned to Hagoromo and the beasts. Those two will do just fine. So, my duty's complete, brother. Yes. You can finally rest. The celestial realm faded as its guardians left. Konoha high atop the Hokage monument, Naruto turned to Hinata with a grin. All right, I'm off to Suna. Gaara needs my help with something. Got you, Naruto-kun, Hinata said as Naruto vanished into his personal dimension. She turned and walked toward the Hokage tower, and upon arriving at the office, she looked at the assistant. Hello, I'm here to see Hokage-sama. Of course, Hyuga-sama. He should be available, the assistant responded cheerfully, and Hinata entered. If Naruto-kun were here, she'd say the Hokage was busy, Hinata sneered internally. Humans are always so full of themselves, Kurama commented in her mind. As she entered, Sarutobi looked up from his desk. Greetings, Hinata, what brings you here today? The Hokage asked. Good day, Lord Hokage. I was hoping we could speak privately, if you don't mind asking your Anbu to leave, Hinata said with a polite smile. Oh, why is that? It's regarding Naruto-kun and an event that occurred 13 years ago on the night of October 10th. Sarutobi's eyes widened as he glanced at the corners of the room. Anbu, clear the room. Yes, Hokage-sama. 4 voices echoed before 4 figures exited. Sarutobi then activated a sealing array around the office. Now we're alone, he said. Not quite. Hinata launched a bone projectile at a coat rack, revealing a disguised ninja who crumbled into dust from the impact. Now we're truly alone. Sunigakure Naruto emerged atop a cliff overlooking the sand village, expanding his chakra senses until he located Shukaku's presence. He activated Kamui and arrived behind a tower. As he spotted Gaara, sand surged toward him. Naruto slipped into Kamui and reappeared, facing Gaara. You detected me. That's impressive, Naruto acknowledged. You don't feel like a typical killer. Who are you? Gaara questioned. I go by Naruto OTSUTSUKI. OTSUTSUKI, that's an unfamiliar name in these parts. Where did it come from? I think it suits me, said Lobo. Really, Lobo, you think so? Of course, you're the reincarnation of the sage. That name fits you well. Thank you, Lobo, I'll wear it with pride. Naruto focused on Gaara again. That name predates all shinobi villages. It's ancient. What are you talking about? Gaara asked. It belonged to the father of the beast sealed inside you. Gaara's eyes widened. If you doubt me, fight and see. Naruto transformed, his hair whitening, black chakra cloaking him. Gaara attacked with sand, but Naruto easily deflected it using a black rod formed from Jido Dama. Gaara attempted a transformation, but Naruto appeared behind him, knocked him unconscious, and placed a suppression seal over his network. Now for the difficult part. Naruto pulled out ink and began drawing the Hakufuin. Hakufuin! He placed his hand on Gaara's forehead and entered his mind. Inside Gaara's mind, Gaara stood in a mental desert, Shukaku bound in chains and confined. Why do I feel clear-headed for once? Gaara asked. The symbols for madness and control in Fuinjutsu are almost identical, unless you're a master. Naruto appeared beside him and looked toward a new gate that awaited. What's that? A new prison for Shukaku, one that'll aid your protection and free you from that faulty control seal. Naruto shattered the old gate, allowing new chains to bind Shukaku and pull him into the fresh cage, sealing it shut. Finally, this one's way better, Shukaku shouted, then looked at Gaara. Sorry about before, that seal messed us both up. I'm with you now, and for the last time, stop calling me mother, I'm a dude. I thought you hated humans, Gaara replied. I mostly do, but you're different. I want to help with the mission Father gave us. Mission? To bring lasting peace, Naruto said. Lobo and I, along with the other Jinchuriki, are working toward that. This was the first step. Naruto exited the mindscape as Gaara regained consciousness. Back in Suna, Naruto and Gaara stared at each other with a newfound respect. With the new seal, start mastering Shukaku's power alongside your own. It'll be tough, but you can do it. No shortcuts. Naruto activated his eternal Mangekyo and vanished, returning to Konoha. Hyuga clan estate, Hinata stood before the clan elders and her father. Having merged with her Tamashii Bunshin, she now knew why she'd been summoned. The elders looked at her coldly, her father unreadable, though Kurama's senses picked up the fear in him. You disgrace the Hyuga name, her grandfather Hio said. We can't expel you outright due to your father, but we will test you. Fail and you're cast out. Succeed and you may claim your deepest wish. Accepted, Hinata replied flatly. And I'm fighting you, you decrepit relic. She moved to the far side of the room. You've sealed your fate, Hio scoffed. But fine, I'll entertain your foolishness. He moved to the center. Ladies first, right? Hinata smiled mockingly. Let's begin. Die, Hio roared, striking Hinata in the chest, shattering her heart only for her body to disperse into smoke. Genjutsu can be very useful, so can shadow clones. I don't need hand signs or chants anymore. Now I'll end this with my mother's style, Juho. Hinata advanced. Juho, 128 water palms. Chakra-coated fingers danced like a storm, devastating Hio. 2 strikes, 4-8-16, 32, 64, 128. With the final hit, she launched him back, his body racked with pain. I can't move, what's happening? Every tendon, every bone shattered. You won't stand again, not unless I allow it. You wouldn't dare, my strength eclipses any Hyuga. What are you talking about? Our roots are OTSUTSUKI, Hemura granted me this gift. I'll lead us to greatness. She slammed her palm into his heart, killing him. Without you. Well, someone needed to vent, a voice teased as the air distorted and Naruto emerged chuckling. And where have you been? Suna. Took care of Gaara's issue, Naruto shrugged. Well, mine's handled, the elders now know what I'm capable of. She turned to the gathered elders. Right, she said sweetly, they nodded frantically. You're just like your mother, Hayashi laughed. She had me wrapped around her finger at your age. I need to meet Hokage, see you at graduation. Naruto kissed her cheek and warped away, much to Hayashi's annoyance. Hinata turned to go but paused when Hayashi cleared his throat. Yes, father. Tell Naruto I wish to have him over for dinner, we have matters to discuss. Fine, but father? Yes, Hinata activated her Byakugan. If you hurt him, I'll kill you. Hayashi's face paled, remembering a similar threat from Hitomi's father long ago. I'll remember that. He nodded as Hinata strode away. Hokage's office for the second time that day, Sarutobi discussed top-level secrets with someone not even ranked as a genin. Tell me again how you know who your father is, Sarutobi asked, rubbing his temples. Where do you think I learned the flying thunder god technique? Naruto grinned. Just like your old man, always giving me a headache, Sarutobi sighed. So I get the keys to Dad's house and permission to renovate. Yes, just go. I have work. One tip, old man, use shadow clones, triple your work rate. Naruto grabbed the keys and warped out, leaving Sarutobi pale. The Hokage's cry echoed through the village as Naruto walked off, laughing, spotting his Tamashii Bunshin on the road home. So graduation's tomorrow, huh? Naruto muttered to himself. Might as well have a little fun with it. What do you say, Lobo? Want to put on a show? I'm all for it, Lobo grinned. Naruto made his way toward his newly assigned residence. Once there, he nicked his thumb, channeled chakra into the seal, and entered. Inside, he immediately began forming shadow clones. Gotta prep big time. 8 hours later, Naruto, dressed in his finest kimono, sat beside Hinata at a dinner table while Hayashi quietly ate across from them. The air was thick with silence, though Naruto and Hinata kept sneaking glances at one another. Eventually, Hayashi stood up and checked the time. Naruto, I believe I've kept you long enough. Tomorrow is significant for you both. But before you go, walk with me to my office. Naruto nodded, and Hinata let a faint wave of killing intent slip toward her father, reminding him of her earlier warning. Inside Hayashi's study, the man turned to face Naruto. Uzumaki Naruto. OTSUTSUKI, Naruto corrected. I took on the OTSUTSUKI name to honor my lineage and the legacy of the Sage of Six Paths. Very well, Naruto OTSUTSUKI. Tell me, what are your intentions with my daughter? I love her. I was blind to her feelings until I almost lost her. I won't make that mistake again. And why should I allow you to court her, when I've denied princes and noble heirs, even the son of the fire daimyo? Because I'm not just the strongest shinobi alive, I'm also the son of your old friend, Minato Namikaze. Hayashi's eyes widened. He had long suspected Naruto's parentage but respected the secret. How do you know this? He trained me in the Hiraishin and told me the truth about who I am. Hayashi gave a slow nod. So be it. You've spoken with honesty. You have my blessing. Besides, my daughter can be terrifying when angry. She is, but I love her all the same. Naruto departed soon after and turned in for the night. Next morning, Naruto stepped out of his house and made his way to the academy. As usual, angry stares followed him, and some villagers even hurled objects. He dodged them without slowing. Upon arrival, he joined Hinata. Ready for the test, Naruto-kun? Hinata asked softly. Yeah, no more holding back, he said calmly. What the hell is this? Sakura shrieked. You never even looked at Hinata before and now you act like you're in love. Took you long enough to start yelling again, you loud-mouthed banshee, Naruto replied coldly, silencing the room. But if you thought that was bold, just wait. He looked between Sakura and Hinata. I've always loved Hinata, I just didn't realize it before. As for you, I loathe you with every fiber of my being. And by the way, I've been holding back this whole time and I'm done. You're pathetic, and that worthless girl beside you is just as weak. Sakura snapped back. Naruto unleashed a chilling wave of killing intent that dropped Sakura to her knees, gasping for air. Say what you want about me, but never speak ill of Hinata-hime again. He growled, ready to retaliate, but Mizuki and Uruka entered and diffused the tension. All right, class, welcome to the Genin exams, Uruka began. We'll start with attendance. Shino Aburame, present, Shino responded in his usual monotone. Several names later, Hinata Hyuga. Here, Hinata said, smirking as the room stared, stunned by her aura. What? One student asked. Maybe try not underestimating someone, Hinata chuckled. You're bluffing, Sasuke growled. No, she's not, Naruto said proudly. Okay, moving on, Uruka continued. Let's begin with the written test. Naruto and Hinata breezed through the exam effortlessly, outperforming the rest. Uruka collected the papers. Mizuki, go grade those. I'll take them for the weapons portion. Got it, Mizuki replied. Each student stepped up for kunai practice. Naruto Uzumaki. OTSUTSUKI, Naruto snapped. All right, Naruto OTSUTSUKI, Uruka corrected. Naruto took the 7 kunai, charged them with wind chakra and launched them. They pierced the tree directly behind each dummy. Ha, you missed, Sakura laughed. Look again, Naruto said smugly. Uruka inspected the targets and tree. They went straight through the dummies and struck where the heart would be. That precision with wind chakra, full marks and bonus points for chakra usage. Naruto grinned. Thanks. Next came the taijutsu trials, which Naruto and Hinata dominated. Eventually, it was time for ninjutsu. Transformation technique, Uruka prompted. Naruto shifted into Madara and spoke with a commanding tone. You are fleeting life, tailed beast, a cluster of energy once whole. The Uchiha are your guiding hand. Right. Madara, interesting pick, Uruka said. Kawarami next, Mizuki added. He hurled a kunai, and Naruto subtly activated his hidden Rinnegan, cloaked by Genjutsu. Ameno Chikara, Naruto thought, swapping places with Mizuki who caught the kunai instead. Wah, Mizuki blinked, confused. Nicely done, Uruka said. Now clone jutsu. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Naruto summoned 3 perfect clones. Well done, you pass, Uruka handed him the forehead protector. Naruto later showed it to Hinata and they smiled together. Next day back at the academy, the students waited for team placements. Team 7. Naruto Otsutsuki, Sakura Haruno and Sasuke Uchiha, Uruka announced. Great, just my luck, Naruto groaned. Your Jonin leader Kakashi Headache. Could be worse, still stuck with them. Team 8. Hinata Hyuga, Kiba Inuzuka, Shino Aburame, Kurenai Yuhai. Team 10. Ino, Choji and Shikamaru, Asuma Sarutobi. After Kurenai and Asuma arrived and left with their teams, Naruto waited furious at the delay. Screw this, I'm out, he barked until the door opened. In stepped Kakashi. Naruto recognized him instantly, his father had mentioned this man often. Well now, Kakashi said, eye smiling. The last Uchiha, the top Kunoichi and the wild card. This'll be fun, meet me on the roof in 5. Kakashi vanished. Later, Naruto muttered, warping away with Kamui and appearing on the rooftop. You're full of surprises, Naruto, Kakashi commented. I try, probably got it from my mom. You know your mother? Kakashi asked. What about your dad? Yeah, he was a legend. He certainly was. Oh look, they're here. Sasuke and Sakura stepped out, glaring at Naruto. Let's start with intros, Kakashi said. Name, likes, dislikes, future goals. Huh. Introductions? Sakura asked. Wow, Naruto said. She really is all theory, no practice. Agreed, Lobo said mentally. Right, introductions. I'm Hadate Kakashi, not telling you my likes or dislikes. Dreams, A. Few hobbies. So just your name, Sakura thought blankly. You're next, Pinky, Kakashi said. I'm Sakura Haruno. She glanced at Sasuke and giggled. My dream is, more giggling. And your hate? Naruto Baka, Naruto slapped his forehead. Oh no, how will I ever recover from Sakura's disapproval? He groaned sarcastically. Your turn, Emo Prince, Kakashi said. My name is Sasuke Uchiha. I hate a lot of things, don't like much. So, an Avenger, a reincarnated sage, and a fangirl, this is going to be interesting. Might as well enjoy the chaos, Kakashi mused. Alright then, tomorrow, meet me at Training Ground 7 by 6 o'clock am sharp for your first assignment. What kind of assignment? Naruto asked. Come on, Kakashi-sensei, tell us. Sakura added eagerly. It's a field survival drill, Kakashi said casually. But don't take it lightly. This test has a 66.6% failure rate. Out of 27 graduates, only 9 typically move on to form real squads. He looked at his team with unreadable eyes. If I don't pass, Sasuke and I won't be together. No, 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 Sakura mentally shrieked. I'd suggest skipping breakfast, unless you want to see it again later, Kakashi warned. Starve and fail or eat and have energy. That's not even a question, Naruto whispered to himself. Good thing I'm dieting to keep my figure for Sasuke-kun, Sakura murmured. I'm totally going to pass, and he'll notice me, and we'll get married, and I'll help him revive his clan, she squealed internally. Does she even live in reality? Sasuke thought with a drop of sweat trailing down his face. That's one fangirl I need to avoid, Naruto thought, then flickered away using the body flicker technique, heading home to rest before the big day. Next day Naruto stirred in bed inside his newly renovated home, once his father's. His alarm read 8:30 am. Kakashi-sensei will probably show up around 9 o'clock anyway. That gives me time for breakfast, he muttered. He got dressed, ate, and tidied up in under 20 minutes. He picked up his gunbai, kunai, and shuriken, then walked to the gate, activated the sealing matrix with his chakra, and headed out leisurely. When he arrived at Training Ground 7, Sasuke looked irritated and stoic, while Sakura seemed ready to explode. Naruto Baka, Sakura shrieked. If Sasuke and fails because of you, I'll kill you. Naruto ignored her, leaned against a wooden post, and closed his eyes, focusing on drawing in nature energy to locate Kakashi. Once he sensed his teacher's chakra, Naruto stayed put. At 9 o'clock am sharp, Kakashi finally appeared in a swirl of leaves, sporting his signature eye smile. Sorry I'm late. Life's road tends to get twisty, he joked. Liar, Sakura yelled, but Kakashi didn't acknowledge her as he walked to the logs, placing a clock on the center one. Now that you're all here, let's begin. The test is simple. Take these bells from me by noon. There are only 2, and the one who doesn't get a bell will fail and go without lunch. Sasuke and Sakura's stomachs growled. Naruto's did not. So what if I ate? Not like he forbade it, Naruto said with a shrug. So you ignored my warning? Kakashi asked, eyebrow raised. You gave advice, not an order, Naruto replied calmly. Well, anyway, Kakashi pulled out 2 silver bells and held them up. You'll need to come at me with real killing intent. But we might hurt you, sensei, Sakura exclaimed. I'm a Jonin, I'll survive, he responded. Naruto growled faintly at that, though no one noticed. Begin, Sasuke and Sakura vanished, while Naruto burst into smoke, just a shadow clone. Clever, Kakashi muttered, scanning the field. They understand the basics of stealth. Sakura's under a bush nearby, Sasuke's about 6 meters off, and Naruto is wait, where is he? Kakashi's eye darted around. Right here, Naruto's voice whispered behind him. Kakashi spun, stabbing a kunai into Naruto's head, but it phased through. Naruto grinned, grabbed Kakashi's wrist. Surprise! He detonated, the blast forcing Kakashi back, slightly burned. Clone explosion, Kakashi gasped. Shuriken came from the trees, and Naruto rushed out, keeping pressure on him. Kakashi struggled to dodge until Naruto landed a solid kick to his gut. You've got talent in hand-to-hand, Kakashi complimented. Now let's see how you handle illusions. With a swirl of leaves, Kakashi disappeared. Naruto suddenly saw Hinata's body lying on the ground, an orange-masked figure laughing, black spheres floating behind him. Naruto roared, his chakra flaring violently, shattering the illusion. A second layer snapped under the force as he entered Rikudo mode, the power surging around him. So illusions won't cut it, Naruto said, activating his Rinnegan. How about some jutsu, sage art, shadow lightning burst? Purple lightning launched at Kakashi, who zipped around trying to dodge but still caught part of the blast, grunting in pain before vanishing in smoke. From behind, Kakashi lunged, but Naruto's Rinnegan flared. Limbo, a shadowy figure, blocked the strike. Sage art, storm fang. Naruto launched a stream of lightning senbon that tore through trees, forcing Kakashi to dive. Landing, Kakashi raised his headband, revealing a Baido's Sharingan. Katten, fireball jutsu, Kakashi breathed out a massive flame. Naruto made a single seal. Water style. Severing wave. A high-pressure jet of water split the fireball, dispersing it harmlessly. Kakashi began forming a Chidori, but Naruto vanished and reappeared behind him, holding the bells. Kakashi blinked. He's like Minato. Nice jutsu, sensei, can't wait to learn more. Naruto deactivated his Rinnegan and smiled. So who passes? Naruto tossed the bells to Sasuke and Sakura, hands in pockets. Guess I'm the one who fails, he said casually. Kakashi raised an eyebrow. You all pass, he said with a smile. Sakura's face fell in disbelief. See you tomorrow for missions, Kakashi added. Naruto pulled out 2 silver bells. I guess these are yours, sensei. Kakashi stared in shock. Sakura and Sasuke looked confused. But if you have the bells then, Kakashi began. Wait for it. Naruto made a seal, and the bells in their hands exploded in paint, pink for Sasuke, green for Sakura. Naruto howled with laughter. Man, I crack myself up. Naruto Obaka, Sakura screamed, lunging with a kunai, but Naruto vanished in a flash of golden light. Kakashi's eye widened again. That jutsu, sensei, Sakura called. What's up? Nothing, Kakashi muttered. I need to report to the Hokage. Hokage's office. Sarutobi glanced at the clock, signing forms. The team leaders should be arriving soon. As if on cue, the 9 Jonin assembled. Status reports, Sarutobi ordered. Team 1 failed. Team 2 failed. Those girls were an embarrassment. Team 3 failed. Team 4 failed. Team 5 failed. Team 6 failed. Team 7 passed, Kakashi reported. Though their passing was unconventional. We'll debrief afterward, the Hokage nodded. Team 8 passed, Kurenai added. But Hinata is nothing like her academy profile. Explain. She's not shy in the slightest. When Kiba tried to flirt, she fired a bone spike at him and said, Fetch, mutt. Then she kicked him hard enough to rupture something. Her chakra levels surpassed even some Jonin. She used clones and Byakugan to track me down faster than I expected. The male Jonin collectively winced. Team 10 has passed, Asuma confirmed, glancing over at his father. Understood. Teams 7, 8, and 10, report to my office tomorrow morning for your assigned missions. Yes, Lord Hokage, responded Kakashi, Kurenai, and Asuma in unison before the other Jonin departed. Kakashi, however, remained behind to provide a detailed report on Naruto's performance while the Hokage listened intently. 1 month later, I can't stand this cat, screamed Sakura on a Friday morning as Team 7 wrapped up their 7th D-rank task of the day. Naruto chuckled as Tora, infamously dubbed Genin's nightmare, scratched across Sakura's face, ruining what Naruto mockingly dubbed her Sasuke attraction routine. Maybe it wouldn't freak out so much if your face didn't scare it, Naruto teased, always ready to provoke her. Take that back, Naruto idiot, she shrieked, while Naruto just stuck out his tongue and blew a raspberry. Sakura, quit yelling. Naruto, stop provoking her, Kakashi said with a sigh. Okay, Naruto said nonchalantly. Then he turned to Kakashi. Are we ever gonna do any real training, or is this what passes for missions now? Relax, Naruto. We'll get some team practice in after we collect our reward, Kakashi said with a familiar smile. Naruto perked up at the mention of training. A little while later, Team 7 arrived at the Hokage Tower, just in time to see Tora being smothered in an overly affectionate grip by her owner, the Fire Daimyo's wife. Sakura quietly wished the cat would be squashed to death. Sasuke showed no emotion, and Naruto pitied the poor feline. The Fire Daimyo's wife handed payment to a Chunin as Sarutobi reviewed the upcoming mission options. You've completed the Tora recovery task. Your next options include babysitting Lady Shima's child, weeding a public garden, or harvesting potatoes on a nearby farm, Sarutobi said, but Kakashi stepped forward. Actually, Lord Hokage, I'd like to take the team to train for a while. Very well, report back tomorrow for further assignments. Yes, Lord Hokage. Kakashi turned to his team. Alright everyone, time for some proper work. Sakura, we'll start with improving your hand-to-hand skills. It needs serious attention. Yes, sensei, she replied earnestly. Sasuke, Naruto, whatever drama is going on between you two ends now, we'll do some trust exercises. If that fails, I'll try something more extreme. Trust the dead last, Sasuke scoffed. That's a joke. For once, I agree with him. I wouldn't rely on that guy if my life depended on it, Naruto added. Kakashi pinched the bridge of his nose. Fine, Kakashi relented. We'll settle this with a sparring match. Naruto, no ocular powers, no nature chakra, no swordplay. Sasuke, no Sharingan and no fire techniques over B rank. Naruto sighed, placing his war fan into a storage scroll and handing his blade to Kakashi. Both agreed to temporary seals suppressing their eye techniques. Once ready, they squared off across from each other on the practice field. The breeze swept through as Naruto lunged first. His punch was blocked by Sasuke, who retaliated with a roundhouse kick. Naruto ducked under it and unleashed a rapid flurry of kicks. Sasuke evaded and blocked, but Naruto landed a high-speed punch to Sasuke's jaw, drawing blood. Looks like I got first hit, Naruto said with a grin. Want to surrender now? Lucky shot, dumbass, that's not happening again, Sasuke spat blood and formed hand signs. Fire style, fireball jutsu. Water style, water dragon jutsu. A torrent of water met the flames, creating a cloud of steam. Naruto hurled several kunai. Sasuke dodged them easily, missing the one with a seal. In a blink, Naruto appeared in front of him, kunai in hand. Flying thunder cut. Naruto slashed cleanly through Sasuke's side, hitting a kidney. Blood gushed from Sasuke's mouth as he collapsed. Sasuke, Sakura screamed, racing to his side to stop the bleeding. She turned to Kakashi with panic. Can't you do something? The injury is severe and beyond what I can manage, Kakashi said grimly. Sakura spun toward Naruto, enraged. You stupid jerk, you were just jealous and tried to kill him. Calm down, he's not dead. I'll fix this, Naruto said, vanishing in a golden flash. Seconds later, he returned with Hinata, who immediately began medical treatment. His kidneys damaged and the cells are severely torn. Naruto-kun, did you use the flying thunder cut? Yeah, with wind chakra coating, Naruto admitted. Hinata nodded, hands glowing. It's serious, but I can repair it. Give me 10 minutes. Kakashi and Sakura exhaled in relief. Kakashi turned to Naruto, his face thunderous. You didn't need to go that far, Naruto. What if he died? He wouldn't have. Worst case, I had a backup plan, Naruto said, revealing a moon symbol glowing on his palm. Don't ever do that again, or I'll revoke your ninja status, Kakashi warned. Naruto just nodded. That's enough for today. Once Hinata finishes, you're dismissed. Hinata completed her work and Sasuke, still silent, walked away. Sakura trailed after him, casting a glare at Naruto and Hinata as she passed. So, free day? Naruto asked, offering Hinata his arm. She smiled and took it. They made their way to the Hokage monument, settling atop the fourth's head where a clone-prepared picnic awaited. So how's home life? Naruto asked between bites. Much better. Thanks to your new seal, the Hyuga are finally united. Even Neji's stopped with the fate is absolute nonsense, Hinata replied. About time, Naruto teased. Well, sorry, mister, I'm a divine being, tremble before me. But he's not exactly a charmer, Hinata shot back, smirking. After spending time laughing and eating together, Naruto escorted Hinata home, greeted warmly by the clan. He kissed her goodbye and left. Next day, Team 7 assembled before the Hokage as he listed D-rank missions. When he finished, Naruto raised his voice. With all due respect, Grandpa, these missions are pointless. I'd like a real challenge. Fool, Iruka shouted. You're barely out of the academy, you're nowhere near ready for anything tougher. That's the Jonin's call, Iruka, Sarutobi replied calmly. What's your opinion, Kakashi? I believe they're capable of handling a C-rank mission, Lord Hokage, Kakashi said. Very well, bring in the client. A scruffy man stumbled in, half-drunk, wearing baggy pants, a fisherman's hat, and clutching a bottle. What is this? The man said, unimpressed. I asked for ninja, and I get kids. The emo one looks like his dog died, the girl seems fragile, and only the blonde one looks competent, clearly the team leader. Sakura fumed at the insult, especially the compliment directed at Naruto. She was about to lash out when Naruto spoke. I appreciate the compliment, but our team leader is Kakashi Hadake, also known as the Copy Ninja. He's an A-rank shinobi, borderline S-rank. As for me, taking out a squad of elite ninja wouldn't be difficult, So if this mission's just bandits, it's child's play, right? Why yeah, just bandits, the man replied uneasily. He's definitely lying, Naruto thought. Name's Tazuna and I expect full protection. Team, pack for a month-long mission. Meet at the gate in an hour, Kakashi ordered. Yes, sir. Sakura, Sasuke, and Tazuna departed. Naruto stayed back. Lord Hokage, Naruto said seriously. Yes, Naruto. I don't trust Tazuna. His attitude suggests he's hiding something. I suggest a backup unit in case things go sideways. Good instincts. Who do you suggest? Team 8, they're excellent at tracking and scouting, perfect for dealing with hidden threats. Sarutobi considered, then nodded. He wrote a short message. Deliver this to Kurenai Yuhai. Her squad will shadow your team. Understood. Naruto grabbed the note and sped off to Team 8's training field. He waved to Hinata, growled at Kiba, and greeted Shino before approaching Kurenai. He handed her the paper. She read the note and then turned to her students. Team 8, return home and prepare for a month-long C-rank assignment. Be ready to face enemy shinobi, but anticipate common bandits, Kurenai instructed. Yes, sensei. All 3 members of Team 8 replied in unison before heading off to their homes. About an hour later, both Team 7 and Team 8 assembled at the village gates, ready to depart. As they were gathering, Sakura noticeably frowned at the sight of the additional squad. Why is there another team coming with us? Sakura asked, clearly annoyed. We have Sasuke-kun already. I requested support, Naruto replied calmly. I have a hunch about what we might be facing. Besides, if we need to locate someone, be it an assailant or the client, Team 8 is our top tracking unit. Kakashi nodded approvingly at Naruto's reasonable cover for Team 8's inclusion. Well, Sasuke-kun could stop anyone just by being amazing, Sakura added with a dreamy expression. Naruto rolled his eyes, having long since learned not to argue whenever Sakura made over-the-top claims about Sasuke. Unfortunately, Kiba hadn't gotten that memo. Yeah, right. Sasuke doesn't compare to an alpha like me, Kiba said smugly. Sakura turned on him instantly, her face twisted in anger. Sasuke-kun is the strongest shinobi ever. He could beat you blindfolded. With how much he relies on his Sharingan, I doubt he'd agree, Naruto muttered. Sakura rounded on him next. And you're one to talk. Mister, I'll cheat with a kunai because I can't beat Sasuke-kun properly. Naruto took a deep breath, about to respond with a technique when he sensed 2 chakra signatures, both Chunin level. Instinctively, he and Hinata unleashed attacks toward the source. Senpo, storm-style Koga, Naruto shouted, releasing lightning senbon that struck the first attacker directly in the kidney. All-killing ash bones. Hinata followed up, sending a sharpened bone clean through the enemy. He watched in horror as his body crumbled into ash with a scream. Gazu, the second shinobi cried, charging in rage toward them. Naruto intercepted him, revealing his glowing Rinnegan. Who were you after? He asked. The man snarled and spat in his face. Go to hell, I'm not saying a word. Let it never be said I didn't try diplomacy. Naruto sighed. Human path. With that he tore the man's soul from his body, immediately gaining all his memories. He turned to his teammates, eyes narrowed in anger. What is it, Naruto-kun? Hinata asked softly. My hunch was right. We're not dealing with just bandits. Our opponent is a wealthy, tyrannical drug baron who hired a top-tier shinobi to kill Tazuna. Who? Kakashi asked seriously. Zabuza Mamachi, the demon of the mist. 3 days later, following intense strategy discussions, Teams 7 and 8 proceeded with their now A-rank mission. While they crossed the waterway, Tazuna explained the grim truth about Gato and the plight of his people. During this, Naruto was quietly teaching Hinata how to draw in nature energy. The secret is letting go of fear and finding inner stillness, he whispered so Sasuke wouldn't overhear. I understand, Hinata replied, focusing on the natural power around her. Gradually, she pulled the energy into her body. Naruto kept watch for any signs of petrification. After a few moments, purple marks appeared on her skin resembling Tsunade's strength of 100 seal, and soon she bore the same facial signs Naruto had when using Sage Mode. No transformation side effects. I did it, she exclaimed joyfully, leaning in to kiss Naruto, who returned it warmly. You did great, Haim, you're a natural. Only because I had an amazing teacher. Naruto scratched his cheek, chuckling. Yeah, I guess I am kinda awesome. Hinata playfully nudged him. You also have a massive ego. Do not, Naruto pouted playfully. Hinata giggled, and the two started playing a casual game of Itajutsu Spy to pass the time. Eventually, the group reached the shores of the Land of Waves, and Tazuna thanked the boatman. My house is north of the village, Tazuna informed them, and they proceeded toward his home. Sakura trailed Sasuke, bothering him for a date as he ignored her. Meanwhile, Naruto, Hinata, Kurenai and Kakashi remained alert, sensing Zabuza's presence drawing near. After nearly an hour, they reached a lake, and Naruto picked up on two chakra presences, one clearly Zabuza, the other likely his apprentice. Without warning, Naruto turned and launched another lightning Senbon attack. Senpo. Storm-style Koga, he shouted. The attack struck a tree, startling a white rabbit. False alarm, Naruto said, lifting the rabbit. Kurenai, Kakashi, and Hinata all caught the silent message. It was a Kawarimi. Seconds later, Kakashi and Naruto sensed the incoming sword. DOWN, Kakashi barked. Kurenai and Hinata ducked, Naruto pushed Tazuna to the ground, Kiba dove sideways, Sasuke leapt to safety, and Shino crouched. Sakura froze, barely missing being skewered. The massive sword embedded in a tree, and Zabuza stood atop it, eyeing the group. Naruto assessed the threat, then placed a hand on Tazuna's shoulder. Tazuna-san, do you trust me? Huh, do you trust me? Yes. Kamui. Naruto activated his eternal Mangekyo Sharingan and teleported Tazuna into his pocket dimension. Kakashi smiled, knowing Tazuna was safe. Hey kid, Zabuza called out. Where'd you send the old man? Not your concern, Zabuza Mamachi. What matters is, I know why you're here and I won't let it happen. Naruto drew his sword and took a familiar reversed stance. Zabuza stared, heart skipping a beat, he recognized it. No way, that's the same stance as Kushina Uzumaki, but she died over a decade ago without any known child. Still, just to be sure, hey Blondie. Yeah, name, birth name or adopted, birth. Naruto Uzumaki, Zabuza paled. Ah hell, who's your mother, Kushina Uzumaki? Double hell. Zabuza's forehead began to sweat. Naruto turned to the group. No one interfere, I want to test Zabuza myself. You seriously challenging me to a duel? Straight kenjutsu, blade to blade, no jutsu, winner walks away. Hinata smiled, expecting this. Kakashi was nervous. Kurenai questioned Naruto's sanity. Kiba was irritated Naruto was showing off. Sakura remained clueless. Zabuza grinned despite his tension. Alright kid, let's dance. Naruto handed his war fan to Hinata, who slung it over her back. He and Zabuza stepped onto the lake's surface. Wind swept past, and a single leaf floated down. When it touched the water, they charged. Naruto struck first, Zabuza blocked. The two became a blur of motion, steel clashing in flashes of light. Only Hinata could track their movements, her Byakugan darting back and forth. Kakashi was stunned. Naruto moved like a blend of Minato and Kushina. He remembered watching them spar. Naruto slid under a horizontal slash, cutting across Zabuza's chest. Zabuza retaliated, only for Naruto to block. Their swords vibrated under the pressure of their strength. Blood loss slowed Zabuza, and Naruto seized the opening, slicing another blow across his chest, forming an X. Zabuza knocked Naruto's blade away, forcing Naruto to retreat with acrobatic flips. Then Naruto stretched out his hand. His sword shot up from the lake's bottom into his grip, just in time to parry Zabuza's next swing. Zabuza's eyes widened. How the hell did you do that? Magnetic lock seals on my wrist and my sword hilt, Naruto stated calmly. Zabuza gave a low whistle, clearly impressed. You're ready for anything, huh? Not really. I've just witnessed too many sword duels end too quickly due to someone losing their grip on their weapon. Naruto smirked before launching a slash at Zabuza. The rogue swordsman blocked and countered, but Naruto sidestepped, driving his blade into the gap in Zabuza's sword. With a swift twist, he wrenched the weapon from Zabuza's grip and pointed his blade at his throat. Surrender. Zabuza slowly raised his hands and dropped to his knees, closing his eyes and taking a deep breath. I surrender, just make it fast. Naruto raised his sword, but before he could strike, a hand grabbed his wrist. He found himself staring into Haku's determined eyes. I won't let you harm Zabuza-sama, Haku declared. Haku, step aside. But Zabuza-sama, I lost a duel fair and square. When two skilled swordsmen fight, death is often the price of defeat. Let him do it. But your dream will have to live on without me. Very well. As your tool, I will obey. You're not a tool, Haku. You're the child I never had the courage to claim. I didn't let you call me father because I feared losing you. Zabuza-sama, tears welled in Haku's eyes. Call me father just once before I go. Thank you, father. Haku let go of Naruto's arm, freeing him to finish the strike, but Naruto didn't move. What are you waiting for, idiot? Sasuke yelled. End him. Naruto sheathed his sword and extended a hand toward Zabuza. I couldn't bring myself to destroy a masterpiece of swordsmanship like you, Naruto said. Zabuza's eyes widened. In that fight, with every move a potential death sentence, I felt more alive than I ever have. Not even a lover could make me feel that way. You're letting me walk away, I wouldn't do the same. I know. But everyone has something that drives them, something that gives their life meaning. So I ask, Zabuza Mamachi, what's your purpose? I want to free my homeland from the grip of the tyrant Mizukage. That's a noble goal. I've heard tales of what your village has endured. Here's my offer. Help us take down Gato and restore peace to this land, and I'll do everything I can to help you reclaim your village from that tyrant. You have no idea what you're promising. The Sanbai's Jinchuriki guards him. Naruto leaned in, whispering, I'm the host of the Jubai. Hinata carries the Kyubai. We can both access our full Biju powers. Zabuza's eyes widened. You're serious? Dead serious. Alone we're dangerous. Together we're unstoppable. Zabuza took a moment to digest this before gripping Naruto's hand with a grin. Then you've got a deal. Naruto motioned Hinata over. She quietly began tending to Zabuza's injuries. When she finished, Naruto handed Zabuza his sword. The four of them, Naruto, Hinata, Haku, and Zabuza, walked back to the Konoha group. After a brief explanation, the two former mist shinobi joined teams 7 and 8 as they returned to Tazuna's home, once Naruto released him from his pocket dimension. After walking for an hour, they arrived. Tsunami welcomed them joyfully and thanked them for bringing her father back unharmed. Later that evening, Hinata pointed out a practical issue. So, how are we going to fit 10 extra people into a house that can probably hold 7 max? We've got 3 extra rooms, Tsunami replied. Only question is, how do we split them up? Teams stay together, Tazuna suggested. Kiba seemed excited, hoping to peek on Hinata, while Sakura liked the idea for similar reasons. But Naruto shut it down. Under normal circumstances, I'd say sure. But considering a certain someone from Team 8, we're not doing that. I suggest separating by gender. Zabuza and Haku take one room. The rest of us guys in another. Smart thinking, Naruto. Kurenai nodded in approval. I'd have liked to share with Naruto-kun, but I suppose that's asking too much, Hinata said wistfully. HN, Sasuke grunted. For those unfamiliar with emo grunt, that's a no objection from Sasuke, Naruto translated, earning a glare from the Uchiha. Good solution, Naruto, Kakashi praised with a lazy smile. Not bad, brat, Zabuza added, and Haku nodded. Your logic is sound, Naruto-san, Shino agreed. All right then, I'll set up the rooms, Tsunami said as she stood up, only for Naruto to stop her. Tsunami-san, could you place this seal on the girls' room door? It'll keep out uninvited guests. He handed her a paper seal he'd just finished and shot a deadly look at Kiba. She nodded and went upstairs. Kakashi addressed his team. Team 7, come with me, we're doing training. Team 8, join them. I'll go shopping with Tazuna, Kurenai added. Hi, sensei, all the genin responded, following Kakashi outside to a clearing. Today we're going to discover your elemental affinities, Kakashi said, handing out 7 chakra paper slips. Naruto and Hinata understood immediately, but Sakura looked confused. How does paper tell us our affinity? And she's supposed to be the smart one, Lobo commented to Naruto. No kidding, Kurama echoed in their minds. She probably skimmed chakra basics and nothing more, Hinata added. Naruto, Hinata, Kakashi called. What? Naruto replied. Would you explain how these papers work? They're made from a tree infused with chakra its whole life. They react to the holder's elemental nature, Naruto explained. Correct, Kakashi nodded. Depending on the affinity, Hinata continued, the paper burns fire, dampens water, splits wind, crumples lightning, or crumbles earth. Well done. I'll demonstrate. Kakashi channeled chakra and the paper crumpled. My affinity is lightning. Most genin only have one nature, unless they inherit a Kekkei Genkai. A second can be developed by Jonin level. What does knowing it help with? Sakura asked. It helps tailor your training to specific ninjutsu and taijutsu styles, Hinata answered. Exactly, Shino, you're first. Shino's paper disintegrated. Earth style, I can teach you several Daten techniques, Kakashi said. I've got a few I can teach too, Naruto added. Sakura, her paper burst into flames. Fire, I can help with that. Kiba, the paper crinkled. Lightning, I've got plenty for that. Sasuke, his paper crinkled then burned. Fire and lightning, impressive for a genin. That was awesome, Sasuke-kun, Sakura fawned. Hinata, her paper soaked, crinkled, sparked, then flamed before extinguishing itself. Water, lightning, and fire. Explains why traditional gentle fist gives her issues. Yeah, lightning beats earth, which counters water, and gentle fist is earth-based, Hinata said. Impressive, I wonder how the Byakugan works with multi-affinity. No idea. Last Naruto. His paper split into 4. One ignited, one soaked, one crumbled, one compressed. All 5 elements. Wind and lightning are strongest, Kakashi said in awe. It's my Dijutsu, Naruto replied, activating his Rinnegan. So that's the name of those eyes. Yeah. The Rinnegan descended from the OTSUTSUKI. Its sibling is the Tenseigan. I'll make some shadow clones to get everyone started. Sakura, boil water with chakra in under 30 seconds. Shino, reduce a rock to dust without crushing it. Sasuke, boil water or light a bulb with lightning chakra. Naruto, I've mastered the basics for all 5. Kakashi raised an eyebrow, pulling out a bucket of water. Excellent, you've got the fundamentals down. How about we move on to something more advanced? Naruto casually extended his hand, forming a Rasengan, then infused it with wind chakra, recreating his father's technique in its perfected form. Futon. Rasengan, Kakashi's visible eye widened in surprise. Why, you actually completed Sensei's jutsu? Not just completed, I refined it. Show me, please. All right. Naruto raised his hand and expanded the jutsu to its ultimate state. Futon, Rasen Shuriken. Naruto launched it, and it sliced through several trees. Kakashi activated his Sharingan as the Rasen Shuriken detonated in a massive burst of wind chakra. He watched, awestruck, as the attack tore the terrain apart. The number of separate strikes was nearly endless. Even with my Sharingan, I couldn't track them all. Kakashi stared at Naruto, stunned. Truly an awe-inspiring fulfillment of Sensei's legacy, right before my eyes. Yeah, but I've got more I could show you. More? Watch this. Naruto formed another Rasengan and began channeling lightning chakra into it, causing it to glow bright blue. Thunder echoed as the jutsu morphed into a luminous blue spear, crackling with lightning at its tip. Rasen Kaminari Yari. Lightning style, spiraling thunder spear, Naruto gripped the spear and hurled it at a tree, impaling it. The force propelled the spear back into the clearing, where it exploded into a towering column of blue lightning reaching the sky. When the storm died down, everything in the clearing was obliterated, leaving a crater about 100 feet deep and 50 feet wide. Kakashi was speechless, witnessing the raw power of this new lightning jutsu Naruto had created. Such strength, that technique is easily S-rank or above. Thanks, sensei. If you want, I could teach you a few lightning jutsu of your own. You'd teach me that? Kakashi was taken aback and Naruto nodded. You've got a deal. Naruto chuckled, amused by the furious glare Sasuke was giving him. Imagine unleashing 2 S-rank jutsu back-to-back and still not even breaking a sweat. Kakashi looked up at the sky. Sensei would be proud of how far his son has come. Loser, I demand you teach me that technique. Sasuke said arrogantly. No, Naruto replied simply, causing Sasuke's face to flush with anger. That jutsu is the perfected form of the late 4th Hokage's Rasengan. It requires more chakra than most Jonin have at their peak to even use. Then teach me the Rasengan. No way. I'm not your personal jutsu encyclopedia to fuel your revenge. Naruto and Hinata walked off to practice her senjutsu and refine a combo attack. A few hours later, everyone was gathered around the dinner table, joking and laughing. Or more accurately, Naruto and Hinata were, while Kiba just shook his head at his friend's antics after finally accepting Naruto and Hinata's mutual affection. Shino remained stoic, though a faint chuckle escaped him now and then. Sakura pestered Sasuke for a date while he ignored her. After a while, Tazuna's grandson, Inari, spoke with anger. How can you all be laughing when Gado's going to kill us? Kid, we're shinobi. Naruto and Hinata are the strongest ever born. Kiba said confidently. Yeah, right, Gado will just slaughter you all. None of you understand real suffering. The room chilled as Naruto stood, cold fury etched across his face. Kid, you better watch your words, Naruto said. I can tell you right now that 4 of us here have faced worse pain than you can imagine. Sasuke lost his entire family in one night, slaughtered by his own brother. Kakashi lost his teammate Obito during his first Jonin mission, And then a few months later, Rin died by his hand, not because of a Kawarami, but because she chose to sacrifice herself to save our village. Haku had to kill his own father in self-defense, because he was seen as an abomination, a demon due to his Keke Genkai. And me, well, let's just say I was lucky to eat a decent meal once or twice a week. So don't come crying to me about life's hardships. There's always someone who's had it worse. And God help the poor soul who's suffered more than I have. Naruto turned and strode upstairs to bed. An uneasy silence fell over the group, broken eventually by Sakura. Kakashi-sensei, was what Naruto said true? She asked. The part about me is mostly accurate, except Rin's death wasn't caused by a Kawarami. She stepped in front of an enemy I was targeting, choosing to die to protect the village, Kakashi said, a tear in his visible eye. The part about my past is true, I ended my own father's life, Haku admitted. The Uchiha incident is well known in Konoha and beyond. I was surprised when I first heard about it, but I was focused on training Haku. Zabuza added. And what about the last part? Sakura asked. Surely he made that up, Hinata scoffed. It was a heavily sugar-coated version. Hinata said, Naruto-kun was largely ignored by the village. He was scorned and unwanted. Because of his stupid pranks, right? Wrong, he did it so someone would notice him. He accepted negative attention because the alternative was being completely invisible. Well, he deserved it. Deserved it, Hinata shouted. What child deserves to be treated like a worthless outcast, to have people call for their death just hours after losing their parents and being born into this world? Hinata glared at Sakura. The fourth Hokage gave his life to protect people like you. He wanted Naruto-kun to be a hero, not a pariah. Every breath you take, and 95% of this village's breaths, spits on that sacrifice. How do you know the fourth Hokage wanted some nobody orphan to be a hero? Hinata's eyes instantly flared red with slitted pupils. Because I was there when he took his last breath and made that wish. Hinata spoke with a deep, male voice laced with rage. Kakashi and Kurenai immediately recognized the dark chakra radiating from her. Kyuubi, they thought in horror. I was there when your mother screamed for his death. I kept him alive when malnutrition left him barely breathing in that orphanage. I saved him when he tried, no less than 45 times, to end his own life. You should be bowing to him and giving him whatever he asks, because it was his will and determination that stopped me from breaking free and destroying your precious village. Without the fourth Hokage here to stop me, no one could have sealed me away again. Believe me, I tempted him to set me free. I even offered him a place in the Kitsune Kingdom as my own child, though I was lying. Now I wish I were serious. I may be a demon, but we Kitsune never do the awful things your village has done to a child. We cherish our children. WW, who are you? Sakura asked, trembling. Someone you should fear. I hate you with a burning rage, second only to that wretched Madara Uchiha and his cursed clan with their blasted eyes. Kurama, speaking through Hinata's body, smiled faintly. Personally, I owe Itachi Uchiha thanks for wiping out that clan, saving me a lot of effort. Though, if I were him, I'd have killed every last Uchiha, and then ended myself to rid the world of the Sharingan's curse. That clan has been cursed since its creation, and only survived because I didn't kill Indra before he had a son. Sasuke's face flushed red with fury as he sprang to his feet and glared at Kurama. How dare you? My clan was massacred and you sit there condemning every Uchiha to that fate. You'd be happy if I were dead and my proud clan extinct. You hate the Sharingan, I'll give you a reason to fear it. Sasuke growled and activated his Sharingan. Before he could even blink, Kurama grabbed Sasuke by the throat, rage twisting Hinata's usually calm face. If you dare use those eyes in my presence again, I will tear them from your skull before I rip you limb from limb. Got it, you pathetic excuse for a shinobi. Kurama roared, unleashing 10% of his maximum killer intent, causing Sasuke to go into cardiac arrest, foaming at the mouth. Hinata, still controlled by Kurama, walked away as Kakashi rushed over and worked to restart Sasuke's heart. After several tense minutes, Sasuke began breathing again. Kakashi then went upstairs and gently placed a hand on Hinata's shoulder, meeting the glare of Kurama's eyes. That was way over the line, Kakashi said. Given what's going through Hinata's mind right now, you're lucky I took control when I did, or you'd be looking for 2 new members for Team 7, Kurama replied. Kakashi's eye widened, but Kurama wasn't finished. Hinata and Naruto are closer than you realize, and that means they protect each other fiercely. Anyone threatening one in the presence of the other won't be around much longer. Let me show you. Flashback from Kurama's point of view. Naruto stood before the cage that symbolized my seal. I lay on my belly, my tails flicking behind me in irritation. I was furious at this boy, who was the only thing standing between me and freedom. Reincarnation of the father or not, I had trusted humans before, and every time they betrayed me. It didn't help that this kid wielded the powers of that cursed Midora and the equally vexing Hashirama. Naruto, I growled at him as usual. Where's the real you? I don't sense him. I'm right here, standing face to face with you, Naruto replied, rising toward the cage and tearing off the seal's tag. What are you scheming? Naruto lifted his shirt to reveal the sealing formula on his abdomen. He twisted the seal, opening the gate to my prison. A hand of chakra clutched my throat and held me down, while that Hinata girl's voice spoke. Remember, Naruto-kun, chakra can only be seized by chakra. To calm this storm, you must extract the Kyuubi's chakra. But be warned, when you take his, yours might be stolen as well, and you know what that means. I understand. Naruto charged at me, and everything clicked. So you plan to control my power, I snarled, rising onto my hind legs and curling my tails above my head. And you team up with that little girlfriend of yours to stop me. You, the Kyuubi's Jinchuriki. Pathetic, I formed the chakra for a Bijudama, swallowed it whole and fired it at Naruto. But he was ready, forming the snake seal. Mokujin no Jutsu. The wooden golem caught my blast and shoved it back in my face. I braced for the explosion that shattered the ground. Shaking off the dust, Naruto appeared, a Rasengan in hand. I swung my tail to swat him away, but it passed right through him. Naruto raised his hand. The Rasengan expanded and slammed into my face, blasting me backward. Then something kicked me, sending me flying again. Looking up, Naruto floated above me, his Rinnegan active, surrounded by massive meteors. They're a bit bigger and tougher than raindrops, Naruto said, thrusting his hand down as the rocks began to fall toward me. Don't underestimate me, I roared, firing multiple Bijudama to obliterate the meteors. With the dust blocking his view, I swatted Naruto from the air, and he crashed against the wall, slumping down. Seizing the moment, I grabbed Naruto's chakra with mine, grinning. You're nothing compared to me. I'll enjoy controlling your body, and first I'll kill that Hinata of yours. I laughed cruelly, but then I felt it, a dark spark in Naruto's heart, something I knew all too well. Rage. His chakra burst to life, and I instantly knew I'd made a massive mistake. The murderous glare on Naruto's face reminded me of a time long past, when my father had lost his wife. I never wanted to see that face again, yet here it was. My only thought, oh no. Naruto's face lit up, his Rinnegan glowing, and a blue ethereal warrior emerged. I don't care who you are or what power you wield. You threaten Hinataheim and… Naruto glared at me, eyes full of hatred. I will destroy you. I recoiled, horror-stricken, trying to pull back my chakra, but Naruto's grip held mine fast. This Susanoo is destruction itself. The warrior drew its blade. Shatter and be destroyed. One swing nearly tore me apart. Naruto advanced, each step pushing me back. He extended his hand, and the Susanoo formed two massive Rasengan, one shaped like a bladed shuriken, the other like a lance. Futon, Rasen Shuriken, Naruto hurled the attack. When it exploded on me, agony consumed every cell. I roared, but Naruto wasn't finished. As the Rasen Shuriken faded, his Rasen Kaminari Yari appeared, stabbing into my face before I could react. If the Rasen Shuriken hurt, this was worse, pain so intense I feared fading away. Naruto plunged the Susanoo's blade into my gut, pinning me. The warrior's grip tightened on my neck, siphoning my chakra. I struggled, but Naruto channeled lightning into the blade, breaking my focus. He ripped out my chakra and leapt away. Powerless, I staggered. But I wasn't done yet. Gathering all remaining chakra, I formed a colossal Bijudama. You've INFURATD Naruto. I roared, firing it, but Naruto absorbed the blast. Impressive. Even nearly drained, you had enough power for one last attack. But no matter how much you have, it's insignificant compared to mine. Naruto twisted his hand, and I was sealed once again. Forgive me, Kyuubi. End flashback and Kurama's perspective. See what I mean? Was all that real? Kakashi asked. Every bit. He beat me. I'm only trying to help Naruto and Hinata now. My destructive rage is over. So you won't hurt anyone? No. Oh, alright then. Kakashi let the Kurama-controlled Hinata walk to her room. The door closed, and minutes later the demonic killer intent vanished. Time skip 1 week, the two teams, Zabuza and Haku were walking down the bridge. Unsurprisingly, Gato awaited with a gang of thugs. But Naruto's eyes widened in shock when he saw two Akatsuki members standing there. Sasuke's fury flared as he recognized the man he swore to kill, Itachi Uchiha. Itachi, Sasuke growled. Hello, Sasuke, Itachi said in his cold monotone, then turned to Naruto with a faint smile. To think, Naruto grinned, a cheap crook like Gato would hire the most expensive mercenaries to kill one bridge builder. I did hire the Akatsuki, but their real payment will be you, Gato said with a cruel grin. While they deal with you, my men will kill the bridge builder and capture the women for my brothels. Naruto released a wave of killer intent, freezing Gato and his men in terror. You're finished, Gato. You just don't know it yet. Sasuke charged at Itachi, but the elder Uchiha backhanded him and looked at Naruto. Naruto, I suggest you come with me, Itachi said. Don't make it difficult, kid. Come quietly, Kasame smirked. Naruto stepped forward, eyes closed. When within reach, Naruto punched so fast Itachi couldn't react. Kasame swung same hata, but Hinata intercepted it with a bone in her hand, her expression bored. Looks like you want to fight Kasame now, Hinata-heim, Naruto asked. Yeah, you've got to test your skills against a 7 ninja swordsman. Now it's my turn, Hinata replied. Fair enough. Just don't go too far, says the guy who made a quadruple S-rank jutsu. Awa, you're mean. Katen Ryuka no Jutsu. A wave of fire surged toward them. Naruto pushed Hinata aside and let it pass through him. Sasuke had tried to kill Itachi with it, but Itachi dodged easily and in retaliation, unleashed Gato's thugs, who screamed as they were turned to ashes. Sasuke, what the hell? Naruto shouted, furious but uninjured. The only one who will kill Itachi is me. Sasuke charged again but was backhanded off the bridge. Now that the nuisance is gone, I can continue my mission, Itachi said, facing Naruto, who smiled back. Let's see who's better with Indra's legacy, me or you. Naruto activated his Sharingan. Itachi's eyes widened in shock. Naruto charged silently, throwing a punch Itachi blocked, countering with a pick Naruto dodged. Naruto followed with a palm strike that bent Itachi over, then a kick to the knee, jumping back to form hand signs. Katen, Gakikyu no Jutsu. Itachi dodged the fireball and countered with a water dragon that defeated Naruto. Meanwhile, Hinata had Kasame on the ropes. His few water clones were vaporized by her bone attacks, and his water jutsu was turned against him. Back to back, Naruto and Hinata kept their eyes on their foes. Something's off, Hinata said. I know, they have too little chakra to be the originals, no other chakra signatures around. So they're not clones, then what are they? No clue. But I'm ending this. Naruto activated his Rinnegan and leapt onto a tower. Remubo, Hengoku, Wheel Grave, Border Jail. Naruto's four shadows shot toward the two Akatsuki, punching and rupturing internal organs, sending Itachi flying into a girder that impaled him, and Kasame into a bone protruding from Hinata's palm. Naruto watched Itachi disintegrate into ash, so did Kasame. What just happened? Hinata asked. No idea, never seen that jutsu before. Naruto looked at the ashes of Gato and his men. So, Gato's dead. Wanna raid his vaults? Time skip. 3 days later, Naruto and his team stood before Inari, his family, and the people of Nami no Kuni at the edge of the newly finished bridge. Thank you all deeply for everything you've done, Tazuna said. Over the past few days, the shinobi had raided Gato's treasury and distributed his wealth back to the citizens. Even after deducting the fee for an A-rank mission, the families of Nami had returned to their former state before Gato's oppressive rule. Well, we should be on our way, Naruto said, and the group of shinobi departed. What should we call this bridge? Tsunami inquired. How about the super awesome Tazuna Bridge? Tazuna beamed, only to get bonked on the head with a frying pan. Why not the Great Naruto Bridge? Inari suggested, prompting cheers from the crowd. Konoha Hokage's office. Sarutobi eyed the four shinobi standing before him as Kakashi, Sakura, Sasuke, Kurenai, Kiba, and Shino had all been excused. You sure enjoy drowning me in paperwork, don't you, Naruto? Sarutobi said, rubbing his temples. Naruto simply smirked. Let me get this straight. You want to hire Naruto and Hinata for a top-tier S-rank mission to depose the 4th Mizukage, and in exchange, you just want me to secure an alliance with Kirigakure after? Exactly, Zabuza replied. In that case, Naruto and Hinata will wear masks to conceal their identities. Agreed, Zabuza said. Sarutobi handed masks, taken from root operatives, to Hinata and Naruto. Naruto placed a genjutsu seal on his mask that darkened his hair to aid in disguise. Bring them back here in 1 month for the Chunin exams. At your command, Hokage-sama. Naruto, Hinata, Zabuza, and Haku departed silently. After 10 days of travel, they reached Kirigakure, immediately surrounded by ambush shinobi brandishing blades. Zabuza Mamachi, by order of Yagura-sama, you're under arrest, the lead declared. Naruto and Hinata swiftly dispatched the Anbu within moments. Let's keep moving, Naruto said, and the four pressed on to the rebel encampment. Surrounded by shinobi, a woman with auburn hair stepped forward, her shock evident. Zabuza, she exclaimed. Well, well, Mei, looking as stunning as ever, Zabuza said with a smirk. What brings you back here? Mei asked, then noticed Naruto, Hinata, and Haku. And why bring children? Naruto's glare warned her against underestimating them. These children command full control over their biju, numbers 9 and 10, Naruto growled, making Mei's eyes widen. I brought Haku because he's my son in everything but blood, and I wish to aid you, Zabuza explained. Before I accept your help, I need to know your skills, Mei said. Hinata looked to Mei and spoke. We should discuss our abilities in private first, Hinata suggested. Very well, follow me. Mei led the group to a command tent. Naruto placed his hand on the tent's fabric, activating a sealing array that surrounded them. What did you just do? I've isolated us in time and space. Here we can speak freely, Naruto replied. So tell me about your abilities. I possess the Sharingan and its evolved form, the Eternal Mangekyo, culminating in the Rinnegan. I wield several Juken ninjutsu, one of which my partner can also use. As the Jubai's Jinchuriki, I can fully access its power, rendering ninjutsu and genjutsu ineffective against me. For taijutsu, only my partner or a master of Hachiman Tonku could harm or kill me. Additionally, I command Hashirama's Mokyuten, making me undefeatable by any other Jinchuriki or Biju, Naruto explained. Hinata then stepped forward. My abilities include the Byakugan and its well-known traits. I can also use a powerful Juken ninjutsu via my advanced Tenseigan eyes. My strength rivals Tsunade's, though I haven't tested it directly. I have Suiten affinity unseen since the second Hokage era. My Katen affinity is strong but secondary to my Suiten and Raiten skills, allowing me to maximize those styles here in Kirigakure. I'm proficient in Kenjutsu, though Naruto surpasses me there. Like him, I'm a Jinchuriki with full control over my Biju, though mine isn't as strong as his, Hinata concluded. With my Mangekyo and the Kyubai's power, we're unstoppable. I can armor the Kyubai, enhancing its defense and offense while protecting it from suppression techniques like Hashirama's Mokyuten. Together, we're invincible. Let's move out, Mei said, numb but grateful for their aid. As they exited, a heavily wounded ninja approached. Mei-sama, the ninja bowed. The Mizukige's forces have us surrounded with 3 armies, and we have resources for only 1. I'm afraid this rebellion ends here. Not if we can help it, Naruto and Hinata declared, dashing toward the opposing forces and appearing before each army simultaneously. With Naruto faced the army, a cruel grin hidden beneath calm. So, the monsters only sent one. This'll be easy, a Jonin said as Naruto advanced, chakra flaring with every step. The ninja nearby recoiled. Dude, what's wrong? His chakra, it's at Biju levels and still climbing. What? See, he's clever. Naruto formed a single hand sign. Katen Goka Mekyaku, fire style. Great fire annihilation, a massive wave of flame surged forward, met by cries of counterattacks. Suiten, Suijinheki. Water style, water wall, several Kirigakure shinobi spat water shields to block the fire. Naruto closed in, weaving more signs. Katen, Ryusei aim. Fire style, meteor storm, large fireballs fell from the sky, decimating battalions. Naruto followed with a relentless assault, leaping between groups and taking down foes mercilessly. One ninja threw a kunai with 2 paper bombs. Naruto caught it, slapped 1 bomb onto a shinobi and threw it back. Explosions followed. Naruto continued, relentless. A shinobi swung a sword multiple times, but Naruto dodged, grabbed his throat and snapped it. Want to dance too? Naruto growled, activating his Rinnegan. He jumped up, raised a hand, and a massive black sphere fragmented into smaller orbs. Clapping his palm, he shouted, Chibaku Tensei. Planetary devastation, huge boulders gathered, floating above the shinobi. They're a bit bigger than raindrops, Naruto remarked, thrusting his hand downward. Meteors rained down, devastating the enemy ranks. Several Bijudama collided with the meteors, destroying some, but many remained, wiping out multiple battalions. Sangosho, a colossal coral reef erupted, revealing a man with messy gray hair, pale pink eyes, and a stitched scar running down his cheek. He wore a gray sleeveless shirt with the Kirigakure forehead protector, short-sleeve mesh armor, a green poncho, turquoise sash, green apron, brown boots, and carried a staff with hooked ends and a green flower. "Who are you?" he asked. "Mizukage-sama," several shinobi exclaimed in relief. Naruto floated down and remembered Aisabu's words. "Yagura, the fourth Mizukage, an honor," Naruto chuckled. "How do you know my name? You think I wouldn't know my fellow Jinchuriki? You're a Jinchuriki." "I am. But before we fight, I have a question. Why all this hypocrisy?" "Hypocrisy? You and I share a curse and the suffering of being Jinchuriki, hated for what we cannot control. The Kekkei Genkai users face the same, yet you try to eliminate them for it. So again, why all this hypocrisy? Doesn't matter, you're a threat to my village. I will eliminate you without hesitation." Yagura charged. Naruto grabbed his gunbai, blocking the strike, drawing his sword and slashing at Yagura's head. The Mizukage ducked and kicked. Naruto let it pass through. Yagura broke free from the genjutsu he thought trapped him. Naruto sheathed his sword and formed a hand sign. Katen, Ryuin Hoka no Jutsu, dragons of fire erupted. Yagura formed an aqua mirror, creating a clone that fired the same jutsu. Both attacks paused, surprised. Yagura then formed more signs. Suten, Mizudangan Denmaku, water style, water bullet barrage. A torrent of water bullets rained down, but Naruto raised his gunbai, murmuring, "Uchihagishi." The bullets reflected back, striking their source. Yagura unleashed Aisabu's power and transformed. "Behold the Sanbai's power." Naruto raised an eyebrow, standing still. Yagura unleashed a massive water jet, but Naruto formed a Raisen Shuriken, infused with fire and earth chakra. Senpo Yaten Raisen Shuriken. The flaming shuriken cut through the water attack, exploding in Yagura's face, causing a roar of pain. Naruto wove more signs. Senpo Myojinman. Sage art. Gate of the Great God. Massive red gates slammed onto Aisabu's tails. Fudo. Head seal. A fourth gate crushed Aisabu's neck, immobilizing it. What? Yagura gasped. Naruto formed a snake hand sign. Mokyuten. Mokuryu no Jutsu. A wooden dragon burst from the ground, binding Aisabu. Yagura struggled in vain. "You think I wasn't ready? You're naive," Naruto said, thrusting out a purple chakra chain with a head, wrapping it around Aisabu's neck. "What are you doing?" "Absorbing the Sanbai for my plans. Unfortunately for you, this means your death." "Who are you?" "I am a man lost to history. Madara Uchiha." Naruto pulled, ripping Aisabu from Yagura and sealing it within himself. When the smoke cleared, Yagura lay dead where Aisabu had been. Naruto looked rebellion camp. Naruto reappeared to see the bloodline wielders celebrating, hugging one another joyfully. Confused by all the excitement, he made his way over to Hinata, who was glaring fiercely and radiating a killer intent to anyone daring to approach her. "Care to explain?" Naruto said, slipping his arm around Hinata protectively. "The Mizukage's forces surrendered after witnessing their leader's death and the power you demonstrated." Hinata replied, pulling Naruto into a brief hug and smiling softly, though Naruto couldn't see it. "For every 2 lives I saved today, I had to take one," Naruto murmured, sadness in his voice. "I know it hurts, but some things can't be avoided." Hinata comforted him again, holding him tightly as Naruto found solace in her embrace. 3 days later, Naruto and Hinata stayed a bit longer to assist with Kiri's reconstruction. Naruto met with Mei and the Kiri Shinobi Council to inform them of his decision to appoint Haku as the new Jinchuriki of Aisabu. Though he kept Aisabu's name secret, Haku accepted the role and began training to synchronize with the tailed beast. As Naruto and Hinata prepared to depart, Naruto sensed the presence of a third consciousness lurking at the edge of his awareness. Moving closer, he heard a voice he knew was neither Lobo's nor his own. "Sama, it seems the Kyubai's host has slain the fourth Mizukage and transferred the Sanbai to a new Jinchuriki," the voice reported. "Do you know the new Jinchuriki's identity, Zetsu?" another voice inquired. "No, Pain-sama, if he revealed it, he's keeping it well hidden." "I see. Anyone else have updates on the Kyubai's host?" Naruto pressed deeper into the presence but remained undetected. Suddenly, he found himself in a chamber with 8 holographic figures, some unfamiliar, but among them were the unmistakable silhouettes of Itachi and Kasame. I have information, Leader Sama, Itachi spoke. Proceed, Itachi, a man with Rinnegan eyes commanded, causing Naruto to nearly gasp. When Kasame and I confronted the Kyuubi host, he revealed abilities we hadn't anticipated. Like what? For starters, he possessed the Sharingan and could activate it at will, implying he has Uchiha lineage. Shock and disbelief rippled through the room. Are you certain, Itachi? Absolutely. Kasame and I neither sensed nor experienced any genjutsu, so the Sharingan is genuine. Anything else? Later in the battle, he manifested the Rinnegan. The 8 members exchanged horrified looks, then Naruto seized control of the mind, breaking it with sheer willpower. You know, Itachi, it's rude to gossip behind someone's back. Naruto's voice emerged, dark and rasping. The other Akatsuki stared at the figure now controlled by Naruto. What are you implying, Zetsu? Pain demanded, irritated. Zetsu's unavailable. Please leave a message after the beep, Naruto responded smoothly. Who exactly are you? I am Naruto OTSUTSUKI, pleasure to meet you. Naruto, Itachi exclaimed, shocked. Yeah, that's me. How did you take over Zetsu? Pain asked. Zetsu was born from the Jido Mazo's power, and I am its master. Therefore, I control any being spawned by the statue. How do you possess the Sharingan? Itachi pressed. Why would I reveal that when you haven't even introduced yourselves? Naruto glanced at Itachi and Kasame. I know who you two are, so let's start with the lady. He gestured at Konan. How did you know I'm female? Konan asked. Your chakra and your posture. I am Konan, also known as Tensei no Kami. Greetings, Konan-san. Naruto then pointed to Pain. I am Pain, a god and leader of the Akatsuki, Pain announced. How did you obtain the Rinnegan? Your chakra signature is unlike mine, so it couldn't have originally been yours. I am the second Rikudo Sennin. That's funny, because I'm his reincarnation. Naruto then pointed at Deidara. I'm Deidara, Deidara grunted. A missing ninja from Iwa, huh? Yeah, what's it to you? I'm surprised you're not begging for my death. Why would I do that? Considering what my father did during the war, it's surprising. Who's your father? Minato Namikaze, the yellow flash. You're his son. Yeah. So, if I wanted to return home, I could capture you and receive a pardon. Good luck with that. Naruto then pointed at Sasori. And you are? Sasori, he replied. Suna's infamous puppet master, interesting. Then Naruto looked at Kakuzu. Now I'm curious about you and why you have 5 distinct chakra signatures. I'm Kakuzu. That's all you need to know. And finally, the one wielding the scythe. About time. I'll make you a worthy sacrifice for Jashin-sama, Hidden said. I'm Hidden, follower of the way of Jashin. Well, now that we've introduced ourselves, I'm here to say give up. Your plan is futile and impossible as long as I stand. If you persist, I will annihilate you all. Naruto severed the connection to Zetsu. Opening his eyes, he saw Hinata watching him with concern. Are you all right? You seemed distant for a few minutes, she asked. Yeah, I just learned some interesting things and gained a new ally. Hinata raised an eyebrow. Shall we head home, or do you want to zone out again? Naruto teased, lightly tapping her arm as they continued on. 13 days later, Naruto and Hinata strolled hand in hand when they sensed 3 chakra signatures suppressing themselves but drawing nearer. You feel that, Haim? Naruto asked. Yeah. Want to do something about it? Hinata replied. Sure. Naruto shrugged, then both vanished and reappeared behind Konohamaru and his friends, pinning them down while a Naruto clone restrained Udon. Your stupidity. Just got you killed, Naruto and Hinata said in unison, kunai pressed to each kid's throat. Awa man, Konohamaru muttered. I thought we had you this time. For not being genin, you did well, Naruto said, sheathing his kunai and ruffling Konohamaru's hair. We've got years of experience on you, your skill is impressive, Hinata added, smiling. Thanks, Hinata-ni, Konohamaru said cheerfully. But, we're not done yet, a fourth voice said behind them. Naruto and Hinata turned to see Hinata's sister. Impressive pincer move, Naruto remarked, raising an eyebrow. You got us, Hanabi smiled. Is what I'd say if we weren't cage buncheons. The 3 disappeared in a puff of smoke, and the squad of 4 took up defensive positions back to back, drawing kunai just as 4 kunai with tags landed at their feet. Their eyes widened when the tags smoked, and then exploded in a burst of colorful streamers. Naruto laughed at their expressions as they emerged from the shadows. I crack myself up, he said. The 4 academy students slumped, disheartened at having been outsmarted again. Naruto approached and pulled out some money for each of them. Go buy yourselves something nice, on me. They thanked him and ran off. Naruto offered his arm to Hinata. Now, where were we? Suddenly, a cry of pain rang out. They ran around the corner to find a boy in a catsuit with face paint holding Hanabi by the scarf as she struggled. Let go of Hanabi, Konohamaru shouted, drawing a kunai. Oh, I'll let her go after I teach her respect, the cat boy said. Let her go, Kankuro, you know what he'd think, a girl behind him said. He's not here and someone has to teach this brat respect for elders, Kankuro replied. Then he felt a cold kunai at his throat. How about I teach you respect, Naruto said, voice deadly. He's so fast, I didn't sense him at all. Who is this kid? Kankuro thought, sweating. And I give you 4 reasons to release her. 1. I don't like people messing with my girlfriend's sister. 2. That brat is the daughter of the Hyuga clan head, Hayashi Hyuga. 3. If you don't let go, I'll slit your throat. 4. Your friend in the tree doesn't like what you're doing. Naruto nodded at the tree where Gaara stood upside down. Gee Gaara, Kankuro panicked. Kankuro, Gaara said coldly. Put the girl down. You're an embarrassment to our village. Gaara dropped down and approached his teammate. They started it. Shut up or I'll kill you. Kankuro released Hanabi, who ran to her sister. Naruto pocketed the kunai and smiled at Gaara. Well, look who it is. It's been a while, Naruto. How's life treating you? Good, and you? Can't complain. And the blue-haired lady. She seems like one of us. My amazing girlfriend, Hinata Hyuga. Gaara looked at Hinata, then back at Naruto. So this is the famous Hinata I've heard so much about. You don't do her justice, Gaara said, only to be slammed by a wave of killer intent. He raised his hands in surrender. I get it, she's off limits. The Ki faded, and Naruto smiled again. Then, faster than Kankuro or Temari could react, Naruto appeared before Gaara with a Rasengan inches from his face. Gaara stopped it with a thick shield of sand, also piercing Naruto's wrist with a small sand spear. Naruto grinned. Your speed and defense have improved, impressive. He dispelled the Rasengan, slipped through the sand and wrapped an arm around Hinata. So Gaara, want to grab some food and catch up? Actually, Hanabi and I have clan business at the compound, Hinata said, kissing Naruto on the cheek. Come on, Hanabi. Okay, Nichan. Hanabi blushed at Konohamaru and ran off. Hinata gave Naruto a knowing look and followed. Well, Gaara, shall we catch up? Naruto asked. Sounds good. Gaara smiled and followed Naruto as Kankuro and Temari exchanged nervous glances. With Hanabi and Hinata, Hinata smiled at her younger sister. So, Konohamaru-kun, huh? She teased. Hanabi blushed. Hinata-ni, that's mean, Hanabi whined. Let me guess, everyone knows you like him but he's clueless. How, dear little Emoto, I'm an expert at getting dense boys to notice you. Hinata smiled, recalling how long it took Naruto to notice her feelings. By the time I'm done, you'll have him wrapped around your finger. Is that how things are between you and Naruto-ne? Hinata shivered, her cheeks turning pink. No, Naruto's quite dominant. He likes to take control every time he kisses me. Hinata trembled again. I'm like putty in his grasp. Have you done that already? Hinata's face flushed deeper. Not yet, but trust me, I want to. He's very well endowed, if you know what I mean. How do you know? The Byakugan is an incredibly powerful Dojutsu, dear sister. You're such a perv. Only when it comes to my boyfriend. Anyway, back to having Konohamaru wrapped around my finger. Oh yes, that. Well, little sister, it's an old Hyuga clan secret. Us Hyuga women are blessed with superior genetics, letting us develop full breasts at an early age. I'm sure you've noticed. Hanabi blushed and instinctively covered herself, even though nothing was showing. Step 1 is showing a bit of skin. And while a kunoichi's deadliest weapon is her body, your training remains just as crucial. So a perfect kunoichi is both beautiful and lethal. Exactly. Now let's start your Juken training, and once that's done, I'll teach you some kunoichi techniques. Hi, Nichan. With Naruto and Gaara, Naruto sat at a barbecue with Team 7 and Gaara, trying to help Gaara open up socially. So you're a Suna Genin? Ino asked. Yes, I am. The Keisuke sent only my team to the Chunin exams. My teammates are also my siblings. Gaara replied. What kind of foods do you have in Suna? Choji asked, chewing. We're mostly desert climate, so we rely on trade with other countries and on creatures that can survive hot days and freezing nights. I don't mean to pry, but are the dark circles under your eyes from insomnia? Shikamaru asked. Yes, I was born with a condition that kept me from sleeping for many years, but thanks to Naruto, I've been able to rest the last few months. How did you two meet? Ino asked. Team 7 had a small C-rank mission that happened to cross paths with a B-rank mission my team was on. You're a genin and you've been on a B-rank mission? Asuma asked, surprised. My siblings and I aren't your typical genin. What was the mission? Shikamaru inquired. Bandit elimination. Naruto and Gaara answered in unison. How was bandit elimination a B-rank? Ino questioned. There were several missing ninjas working with the bandits that our client didn't know about. Naruto explained. What kind of abilities do you have, Gaara? Shikamaru asked. I'm skilled in sand-based ninjutsu and can control copper dust. I'm working on controlling iron sand like the late third Kasuke could, and now I have a large amount of iron sand to practice with. I can help with that, Gaara, Naruto said. I'm good with sealing techniques and can help with the gourd on your back and expanding your sand control. That'd be awesome, Naruto. So you're signed up for the Chunin exams? Asuma asked. Yes, I hope Naruto enters too. We still need a rematch. Speaking of that, Asuma pulled out 3 slips of paper and handed them to the team. You 3 are registered for the Chunin exams. Report to room 301 tomorrow at noon. Hi, Sensei, Team 10 replied. So Gaara, what are your siblings like? Shikamaru asked. My brother Kankuro wears my sister's makeup, claiming it's war paint. My sister is a clever strategist and very outspoken about keeping our village's academy standards high to prevent fangirls from becoming kunoichi. Naruto glanced at Asuma, sensing Sakura's teasing chakra heading his way. Asuma, Naruto said to gain the Jounin's attention. This meal's on me, but I must be going now. Naruto pulled out a wallet shaped like a fox's head. This wallet has special seals that summon money when needed. When you're done, channel chakra into the left ear, and it will return to a storage seal on my left hip. Naruto looked at Gaara. I sense you want to discuss something else. Meet me on the Yandame's head in about 2 hours. Gaara nodded and headed toward an enraged Sakura. Narutobaka, what did I tell you about making SASUKEIQ and wait? Sakura yelled, glaring at Naruto, who replied, Kakashi-sensei won't be at training for another half hour. We're waiting on you. Kakashi-sensei was on time. Well, that's a first. Naruto slipped into his pocket dimension and vanished, leaving Sakura yelling at the top of her lungs in frustration. Time skip. 2 hours later, Naruto, Gaara, and Hinata sat on the Yandame's head. Naruto looked at Gaara. So, what did you want to talk about? Hinata asked. My village is planning an invasion, teaming up with Orochimaru, sometime during the Chunin exams. Gaara replied. How much do you know? My father, the Kasuke, and Orochimaru plan to trap the third Hokage while the rest of your village is distracted. What do you mean, the rest of your village distracted? They want me to unleash Shukaku's power and attack your village. Naruto and Hinata exchanged looks. 4 months ago I would have done it, but I can't bring myself to hurt innocent people. Thanks for telling us, Gaara, Hinata said. That said, I have no choice, but if I'm pushed back, Sans morale will take a huge hit. Gaara winked, and Naruto and Hinata smiled. One more thing, Orochimaru's right-hand man is hiding in plain sight and has a lot of intel on Konoha's defenses. All right, Gaara, we'll inform the Hokage and keep you anonymous. Much appreciated, Naruto. Gaara smiled and then disappeared. Naruto went to report the invasion to Sarutobi, while Hinata went to assist Hanabi with her Jukin. Time skip. 1 day later, Naruto stood with his teammates outside the academy and led them inside. On the second floor, they saw a large group of genin. Naruto spotted a girl he recognized, Tenten. Let us in, Tenten demanded. We have to take the Chunin exams. The Chunin exams are too hard for a weak girl like you. A guard sneered and shoved her aside. Drop the genjutsu, Sasuke commanded, and Naruto facepalmed. Yeah, this is the second floor, even a fool like Naruto could tell, Sakura said smugly. Damn it, Sasuke, you idiot. Naruto groaned inwardly. His ego and the girl's stupidity are gonna get them killed, Lobo muttered. Tell me about it. Naruto rolled his eyes. If I didn't need them for the exams, I'd have killed them both already. So you saw through the genjutsu. You think you're ready for the exams? The first guard asked. Yeah, I am, but how about I prove it? Sasuke said, then kicked the guard as the guard threw a punch. But a genin with a bowl cut and green jumpsuit blocked both attacks. It's unwise to fight comrades, the boy said. Lee, Tenten complained, we agreed to tone down our skills. Honestly, Lee, Neji grumbled. Does the word subtlety mean anything to you? He then saw Lee staring at Sakura and sighed. Greetings, Sakura-chan, Lee blushed. Please be my girlfriend, I vow to protect you with my life. No, Sakura said. Your eyebrows are weird, your clothes are awful, and you're not my type. She glanced longingly at Sasuke. So Neji, Naruto said, eyeing the Hyuga prodigy. Think we'll fight during the exams? I hope so. I want to see which Otsutsuki Dijutsu is stronger, Neji replied. Naruto grinned wickedly, making Neji sweat nervously. So Neji, Naruto teased. When are you asking Tenten out? Neji and Tenten flushed red, avoiding eye contact as thoughts filled their minds. Stop it, Neji growled. But it's hilarious, Naruto whined. Please, for my sanity, stop. Okay, Naruto said, grabbing his teammates by the backs of their shirts and dragging them to the third floor. There Kakashi stood waiting. Good, you're all here, Kakashi smiled. If one of you hadn't shown, I wouldn't have let you through. But you said we had a choice, Sakura said. I said that so Naruto and Sasuke wouldn't pressure you, Kakashi smirked. Now that you're here, I wish you good luck. Kakashi vanished, and Team 7 entered the room before them, where a wave of chakra washed over them. Naruto reacted by cleaning his nails with a kunai. Sasuke was sweating lightly but steady, and Sakura trembled in fear. Suddenly, a purple blur tackled Sasuke. Hey cutie! Ino purred as she rubbed against Sasuke, snapping Sakura out of her daze. Get off him, Ino pig, Sakura shouted. Sasuke-kun's mine. Like hell he is. Naruto drowned out the fangirl fight. Moments later, Naruto sensed a strong chakra approaching. He spun, drew his blade, and pointed it at the newcomer's neck. Whoa! The girl jumped back. She was tan-skinned, with spiky short mint-green hair, an orange clip matching her eye color, and wore a sleeveless white crop top over fishnet armor, white armlets, fishnet shorts with a short white apron skirt, and a forehead protector on her right arm. She carried a cylindrical red-wrapped object on her back. Sorry about that, Naruto said, sliding his sword back into its sheath. Just a reflex. Naruto, Lobo's voice echoed inside Naruto's mind. She's the Jinchuriki of Chomai. Thanks, Lobo, Naruto smiled and extended his hand. Nice to meet you, Nana. You too, Tusan, the girl replied. Everyone stared at Naruto in surprise, but he quickly stopped any questions by saying, I'm not really your father, I'm his reincarnated form. Chomai told you to say that, right? Yeah, by the way, I'm Fu. I'm Naruto. I sense two more of us in this crowd. One's my caring girlfriend, Hinata Hyuga. Naruto glanced at Hinata talking with her teammates. She noticed him, smiled, then turned back. The other's a genin from Sunagara. At that moment, a genin dressed mostly in purple approached them. You're way too loud. This isn't a field trip, you know. These kids are trained assassins, the kid said. And who might you be? Kiba asked. Kabuto Yakushi, my team and I are veterans of these exams. Veterans, huh? How many times have you taken these tests? 7. Wow, you must really stink. Or these exams are just tough. Kabuto pulled out a stack of cards. Thanks to failing, I've gathered plenty of info on this year's contenders, including you all. Show me Naruto Otsutsuki, Neji Hyuga, and Hinata Hyuga, Sasuke demanded. Awa, you know their names. That's no fun. Kabuto flipped 3 cards, inspecting Naruto's card closely. Naruto Otsutsuki. His teammates are Sasuke Uchiha and Sakura Haruno. He's cleared 30 D ranks, 0 C ranks, 1 B rank, and 1 A rank. What kind of genin goes on an A rank? Anyway, his ninjutsu is top tier, chakra off the charts, genjutsu average, and his taijutsu is second to none. He's unbeatable in kenjutsu, has an unknown dijutsu he activates at will, and is skilled in a mysterious ninjutsu called senpo. Rumor has it he possesses a powerful juken ninjutsu that lets him phase through attacks. Fun fact. He ranked dead last this year. Next is Neji Hyuga. His teammates are Rock Lee and Tenten. He's passed 45 D ranks, 2 C ranks, and 1 B rank. His taijutsu is high, but hey, he's a Hyuga. He wields the Hyuga dijutsu, and his other skills are average. He's a close-quarters fighter. Finally, Hinata Hyuga. She's done 30 D ranks, 0 C or B ranks, and 1 A rank. Her stats mirror Naruto's but slightly weaker in kenjutsu. She has the Hyuga dijutsu and the Kaguya's Shiketsumiyaku, which causes whoever is struck by her bones to turn to ashes. She's a highly skilled medic, and her strength rivals Tsunade of the Sannin, but that's unconfirmed since they haven't met. As Kabuto rattled off more facts, Naruto locked eyes with Gaara, silently mouthing spy. Gaara nodded, ending their silent exchange. Minor villages sent reps too, even Oto, but they're pretty new, so no big deal. This caught the attention of an Oto genin. Did he just say we're nothing to worry about? The girl asked. Yeah, pretty sure, replied the one wrapped like a mummy. Well, maybe we should teach him that our genin aren't to be messed with, the last genin said, as he and the mummy guy charged forward. The mummy guy threw a punch at Kabuto, who dodged with a smirk, but then his glasses cracked, his ears bled, and he vomited, collapsing. A sound attack, huh? Naruto thought. I know how to handle that. Mark this on your cards. The genin from Oto will be Chunin. Suddenly, a large cloud of smoke signaled the proctor's arrival. All right, maggots, sit down and shut up, a voice barked. If you start fighting again, I'll kick you out of this exam. The genin took seats while the proctor explained the rules. Naruto activated his Rinnegan. Rinbo, Cage Bunshin, he thought, creating a clone in the invisible limbo world. Okay, maggots, 45 minutes to complete the questions, then I'll ask the 10th question. Begin. Naruto looked at his paper and started answering, noticing everyone cheating. He used answers from his invisible clone. Minutes passed and many teams failed. When time was up, Ibiki called, "Pencils down, maggots." Everyone complied. Now the 10th question is different. Get it wrong and you fail, but fail this one and you'll never become a Chunin. That's BS, Kiba yelled. Tough luck, I'm the proctor and what I say goes. You can skip it and try again next year. Naruto raised his hand, Ibiki acknowledged. Giving up OTSUTSUKI? No, I have a question. If you die, can you still pass? Technically, yes. Cool, you dumb enough to fight me. Are you? Besides, your test doesn't scare me. Bring it. Very well, you all pass. What? The crowd gasped. Yeah, you pass. Suddenly, a black shape burst through the window, pinning a banner to the wall. The sexy and single Anko Mitarashi, proctor of the second exams. No time to celebrate, maggots, you're not out yet, Anko said. Feel the vibe, Anko, you're early. 81 people, you let 27 teams pass, losing your edge, old man, or they're tougher than they seem. Whatever, I'll cut them down at least. Anko looked at the genin. Follow me to the Forest of Death, training ground 44. The Chunin hopefuls gathered before the gate to the next exam stage, with Anko standing guard. Welcome to the Forest of Death, Anko said brightly. Before we start, sign these waivers. Why sign these? Asked a random AIM genin. So if you die, Konoha isn't liable, Anko replied. Scrolls were passed out and signed. Rules. You'll spend a maximum of 5 days here. What about food? Choji asked. Find your own. This forest's a natural treasure chest, Anko smiled wider. But beware. Some things are poisonous, and sometimes you'll be the hunter or the hunted. Before entering, each team gets a scroll, either heaven or earth. Your goal is to find the opposite scroll and reach the tower in the center within 5 days. Sounds fun, Naruto said, catching a kunai thrown at him, coating it in wind chakra before tossing it back. Yeah, no, tough guy, but remember, tough guys usually die first. This place doesn't scare me. Here's a tip, if you want to scare someone, try my weak teammates behind me. Newsflash. You don't scare me. Anko led the teams to the gate. 5 minutes later, a buzzer sounded, gates opened, and everyone rushed in. Minutes passed, Naruto looked at his teammates. I need a nature break, going behind those trees. Be right back, he walked off. Minutes later he returned and Sasuke threw a kunai at him. You're not Naruto, whoever you are come out, Sasuke glared. What, of course I'm Naruto. No, you're not, 3 reasons. Kunai holder on wrong leg, hair the wrong shade of blonde, and the real Naruto's right behind you. The imposter turned to see Naruto with blade drawn. Got some nerve, Naruto said, gripping the imposter's throat. Got a scroll, and no, then no bargaining. Naruto stabbed the imposter through the heart, killing them. He wiped the blade and sheathed it. You killed him, Sakura gasped. Of course. He'd do the same to me. You're a monster. We're shinobi, Sakura. We lie, cheat, steal, and kill. This world made us warriors, not kids. If you can't handle that, leave the program. Sasuke-kun, he's wrong, right? No, he's not. In fact, male shinobi have it easier than kunoichi, Naruto continued. If a shinobi is captured, they're tortured for info, then killed when useless. For a kunoichi, it's worse. If captured, you'd be tortured, raped repeatedly until they're bored, then killed or sold into a brothel. That's why most kunoichi have backup plans or train to fight off capture. So, we need a password to confirm identities. Okay, Sasuke-kun. Here's the question. When does a ninja strike? The answer. A ninja waits for the right moment, when the enemy sleeps and lets their guard down, weapons forgotten in the stillness of night, that's when a ninja strikes. Got it? Got it. Sure, whatever, Naruto said as a strong wind tore through the trees, and all 3 genin braced. Futon ninjutsu, let's see how you fight alone. Kamui. Naruto vanished into his pocket dimension, but the dust revealed his escape. Sakura and Sasuke dove into the bushes. When the wind stopped, they emerged. Sasuke-kun, you okay? Sakura asked. Sasuke drew his kunai and stopped her. Answer the question first. When does a ninja strike? Right, a ninja waits for the right moment. When the enemy sleeps and drops their guard, weapons forgotten in the stillness of night, that's when a ninja strikes. Sasuke relaxed as Naruto appeared. Hey, you guys okay? Naruto asked, dodging a kunai from Sasuke. What the heck, Sasuke? You didn't even ask him the question. Think about it, Sakura. Has Naruto ever cared about our safety? Oh. Yeah, good point. I'm impressed you haven't dropped your guard, the imposter said, dropping their disguise to reveal a kunoichi who licked her lips. Who are you? Sasuke asked, glaring. Oh, that doesn't matter. The kunoichi pulled an earth scroll from her kunai pouch. Sakura glanced at the scroll as the enemy smirked. Oh, you'd love to get your hands on my earth scroll. It would match perfectly with your heaven scroll. She pressed the scroll to her lips and swallowed it. Well, when this ends, one of us will have both scrolls, and the other won't be alive. She then released a massive surge of Ki, freezing both genin as they saw visions of their own deaths. I'm really disappointed in you, Sasuke-kun. I expected more from you. Come on, Sasuke. Sasuke shakily reached into his kunai pouch and grabbed a kunai. Oh, now what? Sasuke's hand trembled. At this pace, I can't even throw straight, let alone land a killing blow. Sasuke thought as the kunoichi produced 2 kunai and held them between her fingers. I'll make this quick. But I don't need to explain what you've already seen. I have to move, Sasuke said, raising his kunai. Move! Naruto stabbed the kunai into his own leg just in time to grab Sakura and leap away before the kunoichi's kunai struck where their heads had been. Interesting, he fights fear with pain. Maybe this prey isn't so helpless after all. Naruto observed from a tree. So this is how the famed Sasuke Uchiha handles a strong opponent, Naruto thought, shaking his head in disappointment. Pathetic, well, I've seen enough time to step in. Naruto threw a Hiraishin kunai at the kunoichi, who dodged, and then he teleported right in front of her. Rasengan! Naruto slammed the spiraling sphere into the stunned kunoichi's stomach. She flew backward, slammed into a tree, and shook off her surprise to glare at Naruto at that moment, an uncanny resemblance to his father. What the? You want a real fight, then let's dance. Naruto, I was wondering where you were. Cut the act, Orochimaru. I know it's you, your chakra reeks just like I remember. We've never met face to face, but you know me. And to be fair, I know you, or at least your father. You know my dad. Don't insult me. Anyone with half a brain can connect you to Minato. Good, now I can use the Hiraishin without worry. Naruto launched several Hiraishin kunai at Orochimaru, teleported to one, and kicked him hard, sending him flying. While Orochimaru was airborne, Naruto created a cage bunshin, which teleported among the kunai surrounding Orochimaru, slashing repeatedly. Then Naruto teleported behind Orochimaru and finished with a Rasengan. Hiraishin Jikushipusenko Ren no Dan, 0 Shiki. Flying Thunder God, Spacetime Hurricane Flash Sequential Steps, Style 0, I really need a cooler name for that. Yes, you do, Lobo said. Naruto grinned, pleased with his attack, until Orochimaru burst from the ground, stabbing at him with the Kusanagi blade. Naruto let the strike pass through him, jumped back and formed a hand sign. Katen. Ryuin Hoka no Jutsu. Naruto spat fireballs at Orochimaru, who dodged but still got badly burned. Orochimaru rushed in, swinging his blade wildly, but Naruto effortlessly dodged every strike, smiling. I move so fast that to most jonin, I'm invisible, so how the hell is he dodging so easily? Orochimaru thought, frustrated. Naruto, can you tell him to speed up? I'm getting bored watching this. Lobo asked. Sure, why not? Naruto vanished and called out from the base of a tree, this might be a bit off topic, but could you move faster? I'm falling asleep here. Orochimaru was shocked, but his surprise turned to anger as he formed hand signs. Kuchios Edo Tensei. Summoning Jutsu, Impure World Resurrection, a coffin rose with the kanji for Red Death glowing. Orochimaru smiled. What will you do now, Naruto-kun? You must fight your own mother, a mistress of the blade. Naruto's light-hearted smile faded as his mother stepped out of the coffin. Minato? Kushina asked, shocked. Try again, Ka-chan, Naruto said sadly. Naruto? Kushina ran to hug him, but Orochimaru formed a hand sign and halted her. As touching as this reunion is, you're not here to catch up. Orochimaru said, pulling out a kunai with a tag and advancing on Kushina. Naruto smiled. You've made two fatal errors, Orochimaru. The first, desecrating my mother's grave. The second, resurrecting her at full strength. Naruto activated his Rinnegan and formed hand signs. Jido, Rin Tensei no Jutsu. Outer path art of Rin rebirth, Kushina began steaming as cracks in her skin healed, the black in her eyes fading to white. She clenched her fists as control returned. I'm alive, Kushina said, astonished. Impossible, Orochimaru said, but Kushina spun and slashed him across the chest. Ka-san catch, Naruto shouted, tossing his sword. Kushina caught it and entered a dual-wielding reverse gate stance. Let's skin this snake, Soichi, Kushina smiled. Agreed. Naruto and Kushina charged, attacking fiercely. Orochimaru found himself overwhelmed. I can't keep up, Orochimaru thought in horror, taking blow after blow. There's no opening in their attacks where one strike misses, another lands. Just then, the cage bunshin he'd sent dispersed, and Orochimaru smirked, realizing Sasuke had been branded with the curse mark. He leapt back and laughed. What's so funny, Tebane? Kushina growled. While I couldn't make everything happen, I did succeed in marking Sasuke-kun with my curse mark. Bastard, Naruto growled and formed a Rasengan. Orochimaru tried to shunshin away but was hit by a black sphere that tore through him. Orochimaru flew back, coughing blood. Damn, I missed, Naruto cursed. Orochimaru retched and looked dangerously low on chakra. I'll see you again when I've unlocked the secrets of eternity. Orochimaru sank into the ground and vanished. Well, that went well, Kushina said, turning to her son. What was that jutsu? It looked like Minato-kun's Rasengan, but you threw it. Onmyoten, Rasengan. I use Onmyoten chakra and a Juken ninjutsu that lets me shift it through space to hit my target at speeds even Dad's Hiraishin couldn't dodge. It's hard to aim, so hitting my mark the first time was good, even if I missed the intended target. Where were you aiming? His head. Well, now that I'm alive again, I need to figure out where to live. Why not Dad's house? I live there and the blood seals should still recognize your chakra. Good idea. Have you made any changes? Yeah, I expanded the room you made for me with Mokyutin and Cage Bunshin, so when Hinataheim moves in, we'll have plenty of space. The master bedroom's untouched, and when I find a way to bring Tusan back, you two can enjoy it as before. I've also enlarged the courtyard to include a garden, hot springs, both male and female, training rooms, seal testing and creation rooms, and a space to train with Biju power. Whoa, I'm going to settle in, then talk to the old monkey about watching the rest of the Chunin exams. Kushina vanished with a shunshin while Naruto ran towards Sakura's chakra. Hinata and Team 8 Hinata and her team dashed through the forest when a volley of lightning-style ninjutsu flew toward them. Hinata grabbed her teammates and leapt aside, landing in front of 3 Kumo shinobi. Well, looks like we found our target, boys. The one in the middle sneered as his companions laughed. Kumo nin how? Kiba asked. Henge, they must have used it to enter the exams and tried to kidnap me. Hinata said. Whoa, smart and beautiful, I'm gonna enjoy breaking her. The left ninja said. Shino Kiba run, Hinata ordered. They want me, they'll leave you two alone. But Shino started. Go. I'll catch up. Shino and Kiba fled as Hinata activated her Byakugan. Don't bother, girl. We're the anti-Hyuga squad. We specialize in hunting and capturing Hyuga. The ninja on the right said. That may be, but I'm no ordinary Hyuga. Hinata extended bones from her palms. Now, who wants to die first? Hinata charged at blinding speed, striking the right ninja with her bones, kicking him away, then firing more bones into his stomach. He instantly turned to ash. Next, she smiled as the others retreated. Hinata formed hand signs. Katen Ryuka no Jutsu, she exhaled a fire wave, the nin scattered. Hinata seized the moment, punching one in the chest, rupturing his organs and killing him. She turned to the last ninja who wasn't there. Surprise! The last called from behind, swinging to knock her out, but a blue ethereal hand stopped him. You should watch your 6 Heim, he almost had you, Naruto's voice lectured. I knew he was there, you just wanted to show off. Hinata said, counting. Yeah, I did. Naruto laughed as he stepped into view. The Kumo nin retreated and began forming hand signs, until their eyes locked with Naruto's and he smiled. Tsukiyomi. 1 second later, the ninja collapsed. So, what brings you here, Naruto-kun? I was heading to meet my team when I sensed 3 Jonin-level chakra signatures converging here and thought I'd lend a hand. Well, I'm going to meet up with my team. By the way, that ninja you paralyzed had a heaven scroll. We need Earth, you. Heaven, I'll take it. Hinata grabbed the scroll and ran off. Naruto leapt toward the cluster of chakra signatures. When he arrived, he found Rock Lee on the ground, ear bleeding and barely conscious. Shikamaru and Choji were unconscious in the bushes. The Odo ninja wrapped his teammate trembling with fear, the other clutched his right arm in pain. What Naruto saw next enraged and disgusted him. Sakura was naked and unconscious, smiling faintly. The Odo Kunoichi was unconscious, still clothed in a tree hollow. Sasuke was pantless, approaching a terrified Ino. Black marks covered his neck and what little of his face Naruto could see. Naruto unleashed a storm of killer intent, focusing it all on Sasuke, who froze in fear. "What the hell do you think you're doing?" Naruto asked in a deadly whisper right behind Sasuke. Sasuke shakily turned and looked at Naruto, his fear easing as he saw him and smiled. "Don't mind me, loser. I'm just reviving the Uchiha lineage," Sasuke said with a wild grin. Naruto's fury flared instantly. "By assaulting a fellow Konoha ninja and a foreign Kunoichi," Naruto shouted. "Oh please, these two throw themselves at me like it's an invitation. They've been wanting this for ages." Naruto grabbed Sasuke by the back of the neck, sealing him with a paralysis jutsu, then dragged him away from Ino and slammed him onto the ground. "Sasuke Uchiha, you stand accused of the grave offense of sexual assault. You have been brought before the Uzumaki clan elders. Your sentence is as follows. A blood curse seal to be inscribed with your own blood and carved deeply into your flesh, without the deactivation mark beneath it. A sterilization curse to permanently prevent any chance of reproduction. Even artificial insemination is impossible. An anti-unconsciousness seal that will keep you awake unless exhaustion is absolute, allowing only 8 hours before forcing wakefulness. A chakra and muscle degradation seal that I can activate at will, reducing your chakra to civilian levels and your strength to that of a child. And 2 seals to prevent removal of any of these curses. Your punishment will commence immediately." Naruto began inscribing the seals, carving the blood curse into Sasuke's right shoulder, who screamed sharply in agony. Naruto then kicked him, breaking 2 ribs, and laughed darkly as Sasuke cried out. "This is just a fraction of the torment you'll endure if I choose to activate the blood curse, so don't test me." Naruto stepped back, clapped his hands softly, and whispered, "Banbutsu Sozo no Jutsu." Creation of all things, with a flick, Naruto crafted a new outfit for Ino and strode toward her, but Ino screamed. "Stay back!" Naruto halted immediately and closed his eyes. Moments later, Hinata appeared, looking at Naruto calmly. "Naruto-kun, create a wooden dome around the tree base. I'll handle the rest." Naruto nodded, handed the clothing to Hinata, then formed the snake hand seal. "Mokyuten, Mokujoheki." Wood style, wooden wall. Naruto conjured the dome, and Hinata moved behind it. "It's all right, Ino, he can't harm you now." Hinata gave Ino the outfit, who sniffled softly. "Thank you." Ino changed quickly as Hinata soothed her with gentle words, running a hand through her hair. After a while they emerged, but Ino froze at the sight of Sasuke. "Don't worry. He's immobilized," Naruto assured her, and Ino relaxed a bit. "Once I finish healing your teammates, I'll take him and Sakura to the heart of the woods. I'll notify the Hokage of Sasuke's crimes. And Sasuke, don't think for a moment that your Uchiha blood will buy you leniency. The Hokage may order me to activate the blood curse seal fully. Now you know why Yami-sama favored the Uzumaki clan and taught us this seal." "Naruto," Ino said quietly. "Yes," Naruto turned, eyes filled with concern. I'm sorry for yelling at you." "It's okay. You were terrified, your best friend just suffered a terrible violation, and you nearly faced the same horror." "Thank you, Naruto, I was so scared. I couldn't stop him." Ino burst into tears, and Hinata wrapped her arm around her. There, Hinata murmured, letting Ino cry on her shoulder. "I'm heading off now, take care." "Sasuke won't harm anyone else like this," Naruto said. He dressed Sakura in a new outfit, then summoned 2 cage bunchins who grabbed his teammates and left. After a short while they arrived at the central town hall. Naruto unrolled 2 scrolls, and in a puff of smoke, Uruka appeared, eyes on the genin. "Welcome back, Team 7. Congratulations on clearing the 2nd stage of the Chunin exams," Uruka said. Sasuke smirked, Sakura looked relieved but drained, and Naruto watched Uruka silently. "Hey Uruka-sensei. Yes, have any other teams returned yet? Just one from Suna, they beat you by about 2 hours." "Ha," Naruto laughed. "In your face, Gaara, told you we'd finish in 3 hours. You owe me 1200 ryo." Uruka sweat dropped but opened the door. Naruto headed to shower, then went searching for Gaara. He found the Sand siblings in the kitchen. Gaara's face fell when he saw Naruto, and wordlessly handed over his wallet with 1,200 ryo, which Naruto pocketed. Naruto grabbed food and sat beside them. "So you and Gaara know each other?" Temari asked, trying to ease the tension. "Yes, I met Gaara 4 months ago during a journey to find other Jinchuriki." "Why is Gaara so friendly when he threatens to kill his own siblings?" Kankuro asked. "That's all an act," Gaara said, munching on a cookie. Temari and Kankuro stared in shock. "Or at least it has been for the past 4 months. "So, you're not completely unhinged?" Temari asked. "Not anymore. Shukaku and I have an understanding now." "So, those genin in the forest. You wanted to kill them?" Kankuro asked. "Yes, I did." "Why?" "Because no one threatens my sister with assault and gets away with it." At the word assault, Naruto's face twisted with rage and his cup shattered in his hand. Temari, Kankuro, and Gaara stared at him, startled. "What's wrong, Naruto?" Temari asked. Naruto took a deep breath to steady himself. "I'm sorry, that word hits too close to home right now." "Why?" Gaara asked. "My teammate Sakura Haruno was assaulted in the Forest of Death, though if you asked her she'd say she consented." "By who?" Temari asked. "Sasuke Uchiha, my other teammate." "Why would she say that?" "Because she loves Sasuke." Naruto inhaled deeply again. "I was lucky to arrive when I did, or there would be 3 kunoichi victims of Sasuke Uchiha." Gaara's eyes reflected concern and fear. "So, you're a Jinchuriki, Naruto?" Kankuro asked, eager to change the subject. "Yes, which Biju?" Temari inquired. "The Jubai." "The Jubai? I thought Biju only went up to the Kyubai," Kankuro said, confused. "No, the Biju are fragments of the Jubai's chakra, split into 9 parts by the Rikudo Sennin." "How do you know all this?" "The Uchiha guard a stone tablet passed down for generations beneath Konoha. It holds secrets written by the Rikudo Sennin long ago. To read it, you need special ocular powers. By using the Sharingan, Mangekyou Sharingan, and Rinnegan in sequence, you can decipher it." "So you were gathering the Biju to become the Jubai's Jinchuriki?" Temari asked. "No, I was already the Jubai's Jinchuriki when I met Gaara." Naruto stood and stretched. "Well, I need some sleep, see you later. And if you see Sasuke, don't kill him, that right belongs to Hinata or me." Time skip. 5 days later, the 8 teams remaining gathered in the tower, where a massive pair of arms formed the rat hand sign. 24 people left. "I said I'd cut the numbers in half, but I expected fewer than 10, Anko mused. "Congratulations on passing the second exam," Sarutobi said, then explained the purpose of the Chunin exams while Naruto surveyed the competitors. "All the Jinchuriki teams made it, plus the rookie 9. Oh, Neji and his team made it too nice. There's Kabuto's team. I assume they're Orochimaru's operatives, so if I kill them, I'm only helping our side. Now for the Jounin." Naruto analyzed them one by one. "We've got Guy, Kakashi, Asuma, Kurenai, some guy probably with Orochimaru. Another Jounin who might be Takifu's sensei, then Asuna Jounin Gaara's teacher. And Orochimaru, worst disguise ever. Also Anko, Ibiki, a coughing guy, a red-haired Anbu, and, seriously Kachan, never mind, that's all, time to pay attention." Naruto turned to Sarutobi. "There are too many of you, so we're starting preliminary one-on-one battles now." The coughing Jounin announced. Some genin groaned, but he continued. "If anyone feels unable to continue, say so now. You can withdraw without penalty." Kabuto raised a hand. "I'm done, my chakra is depleted and my ear still hurts." "Kabuto Yakushi, correct?" The Jounin nodded. "All right, you're excused." Hate quickly counted the participants. "Because there's an odd number, one of you gets a free pass to the finals." The computer spun and stopped on Kankuro's name, who smiled. "Kankuro, you're through. The rest will fight one-on-one. First match, Sasuke Uchiha vs Yori Akudo. Any objections?" "No," Yori answered. "And Uchiha never backs down," Sasuke said confidently. "Everyone else head to the second floor to wait your turn." Hate called and the crowd moved upstairs. Hajime. Match follows canon except Naruto stays silent. Winner. Sasuke Uchiha. The computer spun again, landing on Fu and Misumi Tsurugi. "My turn." Fu jumped down and faced her opponent. Hajime. Fu formed hand seals. Katen Zukaku. Fire style. Searing migraine, a massive fire wave burst from her hands, but Misumi dodged and lunged, grabbing her in a crushing hold. "With my chakra, I can stretch my limbs while retaining strength." "Give up or I'll snap your neck," Misumi warned. Fu grinned, grinding her teeth to create a spark, then exploded, blasting Misumi with severe burns. Gotcha, Fu declared. Rinpun. Bunshin made from explosive scale powder. She flashed the victory sign. Miss Yumi lay still. Ah, he's out cold. Victory by knockout goes to Fu, Hate announced as Fu returned to the railing. The computer began spinning through names once more, and finally stopped on Shino Aburame and Zaku Abumi. The upcoming match will be between Shino Aburame and Zaku Abumi. Will both fighters please step down? Shino and Zaku descended the stairs towards the arena. They stopped before Hate, who said, "We shall now commence the third bout. This should be interesting. Zaku's at a disadvantage since Sasuke broke one of his arms," Naruto commented. "Now Zaku, show us what you've got," Dasu thought, watching his teammate closely. He then glanced at Orochimaru, who silently formed a hand sign and vanished in a puff of smoke. Shino and Zaku locked eyes in an intense stare-down. "If you face me here, you'll never fight again," Shino said calmly. "Give up." "This one still moves, somehow," Zaku replied, flexing his left arm. He charged at Shino, forming a fist with his left hand. "One arm's enough to take you down." Zaku swung a punch, but Shino blocked it easily. "You won't beat me with just one arm." "Stop talking back," Zaku shouted, opening his palm. "Take this slicing sound wave." Shino was blasted by the air wave and knocked sideways. "Get up." Shino rose and stared at Zaku. "What the?" Suddenly, the sound of scuttling insects filled the air. To everyone's surprise, bugs began emerging from holes in Shino's skin. "Bugs, they're coming from inside his body under his skin." "Creepy," Zaku smirked. "What trick are you pulling?" More insects sounded behind Zaku. He turned in shock to see a massive swarm heading straight for him. "These are Kikaichu. They attack in swarms and consume chakra. If I unleash this many, you'll never fight again. You'd be wise to surrender now. If you use that move with your left hand, I'll have the bugs attack you from behind. If you try to fight the bugs with your left hand, I'll attack you directly. Either way, you can't escape this. Your trump card should be saved for the end." "Shortest battle ever," Naruto thought, disappointed. "I can't," Zaku thought, recalling his past. "I can't mess up again." He removed both his hands from their slings. "Don't underestimate me." Zaku winced in pain as he opened his right hand. "You're supposed to save your trump card for last, right?" "What? He can use his right arm," Kiba gasped. So half the fight was just to fool us into thinking his right arm was useless. "Very clever, Zaku," Dasu thought, smirking. Zaku roared as he channeled chakra into both arms. Suddenly, chakra burst from his elbows, rendering his arms useless. "My arms," Zaku cried in pain. He looked down to see bugs crawling out of holes in his arms. "What the?" Shino appeared right behind him. "When I told you to surrender, I instructed the bugs to block those annoying air holes with their bodies and stay still," Shino explained. Zaku stared in disbelief. "This is what a true trump card looks like." Zaku swung his body, attempting to hit Shino with his arms. "Shut up," Zaku yelled. Shino backhanded him away. Zaku slammed to the ground, writhing in pain. Hate approached and noticed the holes in Zaku's arms. "It looks like the match is over," Hate declared. "Winner. Shino Aburame." Medics came forward and carried Zaku off the field. The computer began spinning again, stopping on Sakura Haruno and Ino Yamanaka. "I never thought I'd have to fight you, Ino Pig," Sakura shouted. "Well, I'm glad to face you," Ino replied. "Sasuke-kun belongs to me," Sakura said smugly. At the mention of Sasuke, Ino froze, fear flashing across her face. She glanced around, relieved he wasn't present. "You can have him. I'm not wasting my valuable training time chasing after a rapist." "How dare you insult Sasuke-kun?" "How dare I? Why shouldn't I insult the man who tried to rape me after he was done with you?" "I can't believe it," Sakura muttered quietly. "It's the truth, Sakura. I can't believe you and Naruto Baka made up such a filthy lie about Sasuke-kun." Ino's face turned red with rage. "You really want to defend a rapist? I thought you were smarter than that." "Hajime," Hate said. Instantly, a psychic wave slammed into everyone. Some resisted easily, others struggled but managed, while Sakura was frozen. What is this?" Sakura stammered. "Like it, crybaby Sakura?" Ino taunted. "Using my brain power, I can focus a wave of pure will. Most people resist, but you, a Kunoichi who never took her training seriously, don't stand a chance." Ino deepened her mental assault, forcing Sakura to hallucinate. Sakura's perspective. I was confused, unable to think straight or stand. Ino flickered in and out of sight, moving around with only a rainbow afterimage trailing her. "You can't trust your senses anymore," Ino's voice echoed around me. Your brain functions are scrambled. My arm trembled, my legs shook as standing became impossible. The world flipped upside down. I vomited from nausea. You can't even focus, can you? Suddenly, crushing weight slammed on me, and I fell to my knees, shaking. You know my dad's in T and I. Thanks to him and Bring Your Daughter to Work Day, I learned plenty of ways we punish traitors in Konoha. Suddenly, I was strapped to a wooden frame with ropes binding my limbs. I struggled, but it was useless. 3 Inos appeared, 2 operating levers attached to my arms and legs. The levers began to pull, slowly stretching me apart. I screamed in agony, trapped. Pain intensified until Ino stopped, tilting her head with a wicked grin. PPP please no more, I sobbed, tears streaming. The world spun again. I was now strapped to a cross surrounded by the village, who lit torches and threw them onto the tinder. The flames slowly consumed me, the pain unbearable. The crowd chanted, "Burn the demon, burn the demon, burn the demon." I looked down to see myself in an orange jumpsuit, screaming in a male voice, burned alive. At the front was my mother, her face twisted with cruelty as I screamed louder. "Does it hurt?" Ino's voice rang clearer than the chanting. Stop please. "I hope it does, you bastard, this is payback," I cried, tears pouring. Ino laughed harder. The world snapped back to normal. Ino trembled, tears in her eyes. "I'm sorry, Sakura." She stepped forward. I backed away, screaming, and the world went black. And Sakura's perspective. "Ino, what you did today could cause Sakura to develop a lasting fear of you," Asuma said. "But I didn't mean it," Ino cried. "To her, you did," Naruto said. "I know you imagined Sasuke as your target, but that made it worse." Winner by knockout, Hate started, but Ino interrupted. "No, Ino Yamanaka withdraw from the finals." Then, with the position forfeited, no one advances through the 4th round, Hate said. Both fighters left the field, and the computer spun again, landing on Temari and Tent. The match follows canon until the end when Temari gently catches Tent. "She's a skilled Kunoichi. Maybe we can become friends," Temari thought. The board spun again and stopped on Yoro and Hinata Hyuga. "Hinata Hyuga versus Yoro," Hate announced. "Begin." Yoro drew a shuriken and weaved hand signs. Shuriken Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. The single shuriken multiplied to 50, but Hinata dodged them all easily. Yoro then formed a water sword and charged, but Hinata pulled out Tabarama's Raijin no Ken, countered the attack, and knocked Yoro out. Winner by knockout, Hinata Hyuga. Naruto shook his head. "Idiot, you should know better than to fight Hinata with Kenjutsu," Naruto thought, laughing. The board spun again, landing on Naruto OTSUTSUKI and Dasu Kinuta. Naruto placed sound suppression seals on his earlobes, blocking all noise. He jumped down and faced Dasu with a confident smile. "Shall we dance?" Dasu charged, throwing a weak punch Naruto easily dodged. Naruto laughed. "Surprise, I can't hear a thing because of the sound suppression seals. Your attacks won't work." Naruto kicked Dasu, weaved hand signs, inhaled deeply, and exhaled a wave of fire. Katen. Ryuken no Jutsu. The fire overwhelmed Dasu, who barely dodged. His melody gauntlet warped and sealed from the molten metal. Naruto threw a tri-pronged kunai that whizzed past Dasu's ear. Catching it, he pressed it to Dasu's throat. "Yield." "I am possible," Dasu thought, terror on his face. That was the Yondame Hokage's Hurricane no Jutsu. Many shared this thought. Baki sweated, recalling their last encounter. Flashback. 3rd Shinobi World War Baki, a Chunin, reported to his commander. "Sir, the Konoha ninja are pinned down. We're ready to strike on your command." "Excellent. Send the signal. Attack immediately," the Jonin ordered. "Hi," Baki ran to gather the other Chunin and Jonin. Just as they prepared to charge, a man with bright yellow hair, a blue Jonin outfit, flak jacket, and piercing blue eyes appeared. "You attack my comrades, you're finished," Minato said, scowling. Several Jonin stepped back in fear. "KK Kire Senko," Baki heard his commander whisper in terror. Minato pulled out a tri-pronged kunai, warping around the battlefield, slaying anyone near him. Frozen, Baki saw Minato appear before him and deliver a powerful punch, sending him flying. "Never appear before me again or threaten my comrades," Minato warned. Baki lost consciousness. End flashback, impossible for some unknown genin to have mastered the Hurricane. Baki thought, then caught a glimpse of Naruto's eyes and immediately recognized who Naruto's father must be. "Proctor, I concede. My strength cannot match my opponent's, I'm beaten," Dasu admitted. Winner by forfeit, Naruto OTSUTSUKI. Hate announced as Naruto removed the silencing seals and headed back toward the balcony. The computer spun through names and stopped at Kiba Inuzuka and Choji Akimichi. Both stepped down into the arena. Choji, we're friends, but don't hold back, all right. Got it, Kiba, Choji replied. They both formed the seal of confrontation and began trading blows. After some time, they broke apart. Choji's left arm tingled with static and was paralyzed. Like that, Choji, Kiba smirked. By channeling Raiten chakra into my strikes, I can immobilize my opponent's limbs. Nice, Kiba, Choji smiled, then made a hand sign. Beika no Jutsu. Expansion technique. Choji's body doubled in size. Nikuden Sensha. Human boulder. He rolled toward Kiba, who dodged, but Choji quickly changed direction and pressed the attack. Kiba kept evading, then Choji reverted to normal size. He charged at Kiba, raised his hand and threw a punch. Buben Beika no Jutsu. Partial expansion technique. His arm grew huge and slammed into Kiba, sending him crashing into the wall. Kiba shook it off, pulled out a food pill, tossed it to Akamaru, whose fur glowed red. Akamaru leapt onto Kiba's back as Kiba released chakra. Jujin Bunshin no Jutsu. Beast human clone. Akamaru transformed into a copy of Kiba. Both bore feral expressions. Brace yourself, Choji. The two prepared their strongest moves. Nikuden Hari Sensha. Spiked human boulder. Choji expanded, covering himself with kunai. Raiten, Gatsuga. Lightning style. Fang over fang. Kiba and Akamaru lunged forward, lightning chakra enveloping them. Choji rolled at them. Their attacks collided with a massive explosion, throwing both back. Choji slammed into the wall and lost consciousness. Kiba slid a bit but quickly stood back up. Winner by knockout. Kiba Inuzuka, Hate declared. Well, my team swept the board, not bad, Kakashi, Kurenai said. Good job, Kurenai. I expected Naruto to win. Sasuke was uncertain and Sakura was bound to lose, Kakashi replied. Then why enter her? Guy asked. To teach her the shinobi world is tougher than she thinks. That's hardly youthful. Want to know what's even less youthful? Naruto asked darkly. Rape? I wanted to ask about that, Kakashi said. Why didn't you kill Sasuke? He's too fast. I want him to suffer, so I placed multiple seals on him, including the Uzumaki's blood curse seal. Kakashi's face paled, knowing exactly what that meant. When will you trigger it? When I'm ready. Winner by knockout, Hate called. Neji Hyuga. Oh nice, Neji made it to the finals too, Naruto said, his mood improving. Next match, Shikamaru Nara vs. Kin, AN, match follows canon. He's lazy but clever, Hinata noted. Naruto nodded in agreement. The board spun, then spat out Gaara and Rock Lee. Final bout. Sabaku no Gaara vs. Rock Lee. This should be very interesting, Lee said. Indeed, let's see what you've got, Gaara replied with a smile. A Taijutsu user against a Jitten user with a spotless injury record. This will be a compelling fight, Naruto smirked. All set, begin, Hate said. Lee charged, launching a strike, shouting, Konoha Senpu. Leaf Hurricane. Gaara remained still, sand moving to block the kick and knocking Lee onto his backside. Lee saw the sand coming at him, rolled back, sprang up with a backflip, and skidded back to his starting point. Gaara did nothing as the sand returned to his gourd. Even Lee's speed can't get close, Choji remarked, shocked. A sand manipulation technique, huh? That won't be easy to get past. But nothing ventured, nothing gained. Lee charged again, attempting 4 kicks and 4 punches, but Gaara's sand blocked every strike. The sand surged again. Lee drew a kunai and slashed through it. Noticing the sand regrouping, he backed away, leapt up, and threw a few shuriken, blocked as well. Gaara still stood motionless as sand formed a circle around him. Blast it, he didn't even flinch. How the heck is he doing that without moving a muscle? Lee wondered. Sand surged toward him. He jumped to evade but miscalculated and caught his ankle. Gaara stayed still as the sand slammed Lee into a wall. Lee recovered and dodged the sand again, trying to strike Gaara. I don't get it, Ino said. He's only using Taijutsu. Why not create distance and use ninjutsu? That'd be a good idea if he had any, Guy said. Lee can't use ninjutsu or genjutsu at all. You're kidding. That's nothing, you should have seen him when we first met. No talent whatsoever. Really, I don't believe it. Lee flipped backward to avoid the sand's attack, but fell as sand shot beneath his feet. Gaara did nothing as his sand closed in for capture. Ino and others winced, fearing Gaara had killed Lee. It's over, Shikamaru flinched, but then everyone noticed Lee had dodged with a single cannonball flip onto a large statue's hand signed for Ram. Gaara and Lee stared each other down. A ninja without ninjutsu or genjutsu is rare, Guy said. Lee relies solely on taijutsu. Some see that as a disadvantage, but that's what makes him a champion. All right, Lee, unleash. But sensei, you said that's a last resort when lives are at stake, Lee said. That's true, but this is an exception. Lee looked stunned. Really? Guy nodded, rolling up his orange leg warmers to reveal leg weights. Huh, those are, Ino asked. How old-fashioned, Shikamaru scoffed. Leg weights. Basic training gear, Kakashi said with mild curiosity. This ought to be good, Naruto said. More like totally lame, Kankuro mocked. Lee removed the weights. Ah, better. Now I can move freely, Lee exclaimed as he dropped the weights. Come on, you really think dropping a few pounds will let you bypass Gaara's sand defenses? Temari said smugly. Suddenly Lee's weights hit the ground, causing a massive explosion of dust and debris. Oh my god! Ino thought with an exaggerated anime reaction. Naruto widened his eyes at the display. So he wears weights too. Interesting, Naruto thought impressed. Guy, you're too much, Kakashi thought, adjusting his mask. All right, Guy shouted to his student. Now Gio, yes SIR, Lee responded. AN. Everything from dropping the weights to after the second direct hit is canon. Everyone noticed Gaara's face cracking. He's encased himself in sand, things must be serious. Let's see what you can do now, Lee, Naruto said. That's proof Gaara's feeling the pressure. He wouldn't have armored up otherwise, Temari thought, then glanced at Lee. Lee's good, no doubt, but that doesn't guarantee victory. It won't be easy, but Gaara can't lose. With Lee and Gaara, well, is that it? Gaara asked. Not good. Even with my speed, those sand defenses are nearly impenetrable. My best bet is to get him airborne, away from the sand, and attack from above with the lotus, Lee thought, his eyes shining. He glanced at Guy, who nodded. Lee unwound his arm bandages down to his knees. Get ready, Lee dashed around Gaara multiple times clockwise. That's right, Lee, good work. That fragile sand shield won't protect him from your speed and lotus, Guy thought. What are you waiting for? Gaara asked, intrigued. Very well, you asked for it. Lee dropped and kicked Gaara's chin, careful not to go too high due to the gourd's weight. Try this. Lee launched more kicks, raising Gaara higher. Incredible series of kicks, Kakashi thought. Even a basic lotus strains the body, this is immense. Finish it, Lee, Guy prayed silently. Gaara noticed Lee wincing in pain, cracks appeared on Gaara's skin. Kakashi and Naruto's eyes widened. Lee's bandages wrapped around Gaara. Now take this, Lee called. They spun rapidly until blurs. Amot Renge, impact shattered the ground beneath Gaara. Lee knelt, breathing heavily. It's over, I got him. Right on, Lee, Guy shouted. Amazing, he won, Kiba said. Not yet, Naruto said. You did it, Ino cheered. Way to go, Lee. Is he, that guy's not dead, is he? Shikamaru asked. Hate checked on Gaara. Suddenly Gaara's skin collapsed inward and he dissolved into sand. Lee stared in shock. What? Lee asked. What the? Sakura called. Gaara turned to an empty shell. An empty shell? Ino exclaimed. But how? When did he do it? Guy asked. When you closed your eyes to pray, Kakashi replied. Lee also closed his eyes in pain at that moment. That's when it happened. Lee watched Gaara collapse inward, eyes bugging out. What? Not bad, that almost hurt, Gaara said. Now it's my turn. Lee, recovered enough to move without pain, dashed around dodging Gaara's sand attacks, while Temari looked on puzzled at Lee's strategy. Why hasn't that lunatic given up yet? She murmurs quietly. Gaara strikes Lee with a sand blast that slams into his stomach. Lee quickly recovers, crossing his forearms shaped like bear claws to shield his face except for his eyes, still showing signs of shock and light panting from the earlier Amot Renge aftereffects. This is getting dull, Gaara remarks. Poor kid, Gaara's just going to keep toying with him until he begs for mercy, Kankuro comments. My friend from the sands, your companion is in for a long battle. Lee simply doesn't know how to surrender, Guy replies. Lee pants, maintaining his defensive crossed-arm stance, and notices Guy smiling at him. Thank you, Guy-sensei, Lee thinks with a smile, then assumes his trademark fighting posture. Gaara watches suspiciously as Lee dodges Gaara's next attack at the same lightning speed. Naruto smiles. I'll make you proud, sensei, by following this path to the end. I'll push forward and become the ninja I'm destined to be, Lee thinks with fierce determination. Lee's smiling while running for his life, but he's still smiling, Ino says, puzzled. Yes, but now it's Gaara's turn to run, Guy answers. What? Ino looks at Guy, confused. Konoha's lotus blooms twice, Guy says with a grin. No, Guy, you didn't, Kakashi says nervously. Yes, Kakashi, I did, Guy replies confidently. So that Genin, that boy, can open the 8 inner gates and use the Ura-Renge. Ura-Renge? Neji thinks with horror, recalling everything he's read about that technique and its terrible risks. That's right. Well, if that isn't something, how many gates can he open now? 5 gates. Okay, what exactly are these 8 inner gates and the Ura-Renge? Ino asks. The 8 gates are like valves or chakra limiters. They must be opened to release the Ura-Renge, Kakashi explains. I'm still lost. Kakashi lifts his headband to reveal his Sharingan. There are gates along the chakra network located at key points where chakra is concentrated. Starting at the head, they are Kaiman Gate of Opening, Kuman Gate of Rest, Seiman Gate of Life, Shaman Gate of Pain, Toman Gate of Limit, Kaiman Gate of View, Kyoman Gate of Wonder, and Shiman Gate of Death. These are the 8 inner gates. Their role is to restrict the flow of chakra throughout the body. The Amot Renge puts immense strain on these gates, eventually forcing them open, releasing the restrictions on chakra flow. This can boost a person's strength tenfold or more, Kakashi explains. The Amot Renge opens only the first gate, the gate of opening, releasing the brain's limit on muscles, letting the body reach full strength. You've seen the results, Kakashi adds. And the Ura-Renge? Ino asks. At the second gate, Kuman, strength is increased further, and at the third gate, Seiman, one enters the Ura-Renge. Wait a minute. The Amot Renge nearly destroyed Lee, he could barely move. What happens if he pushes further? Exactly, Kakashi nods. Opening all 8 gates grants power beyond even the Hokages. The only drawback is… Kakashi pauses for effect. You die? Ino's eyes widen in fear. I don't know what this boy means to you, but personal feelings can't interfere here. I never thought you were capable of this. You have no idea, you know nothing about him. That boy has something important to prove, even at the cost of his life. I'm determined to help him, not for him, but because that goal is worth fighting for. Flashback a memory of Guy teaching Lee the Ura-Renge, ending with, you can only use this technique under one strict condition, and that condition is… End flashback, and that condition is… Lee thinks, curling his fingers and crossing his arms. Gaara notices a shift in Lee. What are you planning? It won't work, this match is over, Gaara says. I couldn't agree more. This match is over one way or another, Lee replies. Neji, Sasuke, and Naruto, Gaara senses the power rising but doesn't know how to respond. I refuse to lose here. Guy-sensei, please let this work, it's now or never. Lee starts radiating chakra, and his skin flushes red from the blood rushing. Lee's thoughts echo with Guy's voice, to protect and uphold one's ninja way. Then Lee shouts, the third gate, Gate of Life, open. Spectators watch the genin as his chakra surges, some confused about what's happening. Gaara watches him closely. The third gate is open. Now the Renge begins, Kakashi states. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? Guy says, annoyed at Kakashi's intense gaze. The fourth gate, Shaman, open, Lee announces. Opening gates through sheer will is no small feat. He's definitely a genius, Kakashi admits, impressed. After adapting to the power surge, Lee crouches and then moves. The ground explodes from the force of his motion, and in less than a second, his foot connects with Gaara's chin, creating a burst of dust, stone, and sand fragments. Everyone shields their eyes. His speed rivals Minato-sensei's, just a lot quieter, Kakashi comments, flicking a speck from his ear. Lee notices Gaara's sand armor cracking. Say goodbye to that armor as I tear it off, Lee says, moving faster. Throughout the match, Lee bats Gaara around like a ragdoll, never letting him touch the ground. My armor's tough, but it can't withstand this pounding, Gaara thinks as it crumbles. One more and it's over, Lee says, then calls out. The fifth gate, Tommen, open. He drops onto Gaara. Lee glances briefly at Neji and thinks, lucky you get a preview of what I have planned, then speeds at Gaara again. Surprising Gaara, Lee uses a vanishing speed technique, striking him in the gut. Just as Gaara recovers, Lee wraps his bandages around Gaara's belt, pulling him as the sand falls to try and trap him. The beauty of the Ura-Renge is that the user's taijutsu is so fast, any defense is useless, dust in the wind. Nothing, not even Neji or Gaara's sand shield, can block it, Guy thinks, watching. Now to finish it, Lee shouts, pulling Gaara close while delivering a punch and kick, then yells, Ura-Renge! Lee grunts in pain as the technique's strain hits his right arm and leg. Gaara uses all his sand to cushion the fall. He's injured but alive. Good fight, but now I win, Gaara says, shooting sand to bind Lee and knock him out. Winner by knockout, Gaara, Hate announces. He's a strong fighter. Haven't had a match like that since Naruto, Gaara says, releasing Lee, who is then taken by medics. Finalists, please report to the arena, Hate calls. They gather as he holds out a box with a slit and hole. Reach in and draw a slip. Read the number, Hate instructs. Naruto pulls out a slip with the number 1. Number 1, fitting, Naruto says. I got 9, Sasuke says. 6, Temari, 7, Kankuro, 10, Hinata, 11, Kiba, 2, Neji, 5, Shikamaru, 4, Gaara, 8, Shino, 3, Fu. The finals matchups will be, Hate says, Naruto OTSUTSUKI vs Neji Hyuga in the first round, Fu vs Gaara in the second, Shikamaru Nara vs Temari in the third, Shino Aburame vs Kankuro in the fourth, and Hinata Hyuga vs Sasuke Uchiha in the fifth. Kiba and Yuzuka will face the winner of the third round. Everyone meets at the village stadium in 1 month for the finals. Why a month? Kiba asks. Important guests will visit Konoha to watch. It's also time for you to sharpen your skills to impress or keep clients, Sarutobi explains. Time skip. 1 month later, Naruto and the Chunin candidates stood inside the arena as a massive crowd gathered around. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the biannual Chunin exams, Genma Shiranui announced, and the crowd erupted with cheers. Before you are 11 hopefuls competing for your entertainment and the chance to earn the rank of Chunin. Applause and cheers followed. These genin will face off in one-on-one matches, tournament style. Remember, losing here doesn't automatically disqualify you from promotion, and winning doesn't guarantee it either. Up in the Chunin viewing box, Sarutobi was seated when a voice called out, "Greetings, Hokage-sama." Sarutobi turned to see the Kazekage enter, flanked by 2 guards. "Welcome, Kazekage-sama," Sarutobi replied, rising to bow. The 2 leaders then took their seats. "I hope your journey was comfortable." "It was. Shouldn't you have selected the 5th Hokage by now? There's still some life left in these old bones," Sarutobi chuckled. "But don't think I'm unaware of your intentions, Orochimaru," he mused silently. "Besides, I already have a successor in mind, just needs a few more years to mature." "Oh, who? He's here in the exams. Only a genin by title, but you'll see who will succeed me." The first match in the Chunin exams is Naruto OTSUTSUKI vs Neji Hyuga. All other contestants, please exit the arena and report to the waiting area. "Wait for your names to be called," Genma announced, and everyone except Naruto and Neji left the arena. "Watch closely, Hanabi," Hayashi said. "I'm about to place a large bet." "Why, Tusan? The odds are 50-1 against Naruto winning this match. You're betting against Nejinae. Your cousin is skilled, but not even the late first Hokage could defeat Naruto. Naruto-nae really is that strong. Without a doubt." "Hajime," Genma shouted as Neji charged and threw a punch, which Naruto caught. The impact cracked the ground beneath them, leaving a crater where the 2 fighters stood. Naruto threw a punch in return, which Neji dodged. Naruto followed with a kick, but Neji ducked and countered with a punch that Naruto spun to avoid. Naruto wrapped an arm around Neji's neck, spun him around, then kicked him backward. Neji slammed into the wall. Naruto straightened and smirked, revealing his Sharingan. Neji rose from the wall and activated his Byakugan. "So, Indra's legacy against Hayato's gift, huh?" Naruto grinned confidently. "Indeed," Neji replied. "Let's see which Dijutsu prevails, my Byakugan or your Sharingan." The crowd erupted into shocked murmurs. "That kid stole the eyes of the Uchiha," a spectator shouted. "He's in league with Itachi," another cried angrily. "The demon murdered the Uchiha just to steal the Sharingan." "Not true," Sarutobi said, drawing the crowd's attention. "DNA tests reveal Naruto's paternal lineage is from a banned branch of the Uchiha clan, a family removed from records for aiding the Senju during the Warring States era. So, while I'm not officially an Uchiha, I still possess their Dijutsu," Naruto explained. "I awakened the Sharingan at 5 but kept it secret. By 7, it was fully matured. At 10, I unlocked a special form, the Eternal Mangekyo. Uchiha legends say once every few generations, an Uchiha unlocks an Eternal Mangekyo that resembles the last wielder's eyes. Then, at 13, 3 months before graduating the academy, I awakened the Rinnegan, the legendary eyes of the Sage of 6 Paths." "Well, after that dramatic reveal, shall we continue the match, Naruto?" Neji asked. "Sure, let's go." Naruto and Neji exchanged powerful punches, then broke apart. Naruto noticed the disappointed look on Neji's face. "What's wrong? You seem upset." "To be honest, I am." Why? Don't you like your power? I do, but that's not it. I thought I'd be doing better. I don't follow. I've pushed myself to be the strongest, but then I realized there's a power level I can never reach, and that frustrates me. Now I get it. Yeah, I'd hate knowing there's someone stronger who could threaten my loved ones, someone I could never beat either. Still, I want to see how I measure up against someone as strong as you. Then let's keep going. Naruto and Neji exchanged blows that would shatter boulders. Looks like they're turning it up, Hinata said with a smile. They were just holding back before, Temari asked, puzzled. Yeah, Neji's strong, not as physically powerful as Naruto, but no pushover. Naruto and Neji cracked their joints, preparing to fight harder. You should know I'm not satisfied either, at least not yet, Naruto said. Why's that? Neji asked. I haven't even come close to using my full strength. Oh, that explains it. I've been fighting at about 80%. You're holding back. Naruto's eyes widened in surprise, then narrowed with anger. All right then, let's see what you can do at full speed. Naruto charged, kicking up dust and throwing punches Neji blocked or dodged. Both moved so fast that anyone below Jounin rank couldn't follow. Why isn't Neji using Juken techniques? Lee wondered. It's simple, young Lee, Guy said. Naruto knows how to counter every form of Juken. Neji had to learn something new, so he asked me to teach him Goken to counter Naruto's power. Whoa, these two are amazing, one Jounin evaluator said. Such speed and strength, they're definitely at least Jounin level, another added. Naruto formed a Rasengan in his hand and rushed Neji, who began spinning. Rasengan, Naruto shouted. Hakesho Kaiten, Neji called. Their spiraling attacks collided, neither dominated at first. Then sparks gathered on Naruto's Rasengan as its blue glow brightened and thunder roared through the stadium. He's using Rasen Kaminari Yari, Kiba asked nervously. No, it's just Rasengan, Hinata clarified. It boosts its piercing power. The chitin shattered, and Naruto thrust the lightning-imbued Rasengan into Neji's stomach. Rasengan, Naruto shouted as sparks danced over Neji's body. Neji was blasted back, crashing into the wall before slumping, laughing, and coughing. Damn, Neji chuckled. Guess I lost. Then he collapsed, unconscious. Winner by knockout, Naruto OTSUTSUKI, Genma announced. The crowd mostly cheered, while Naruto's detractors fell silent. Naruto lifted Neji and carried him to the recovery area. For the next match, Fu and Sabaku no Gaara, please enter the arena. Gaara and Fu walked out. This should be interesting. What do you say, want to keep things fair? Fu asked. I won't fully transform if you don't, Gaara replied. Fair enough. The two stood still, eyes locked. Hajime, Genma shouted. Sand shot toward Fu, who dodged and fired a fireball at Gaara. The sand rose to block it, and the heat turned the sand into glass. Oh, smart, using fire jutsu to turn my sand into glass. Yeah, no sand, no jutsu. Don't think it's that easy. Gaara sent more sand rising from the ground. Wherever there's dirt, I can make sand. All right, how about this? Fu exhaled a huge cloud of silver powder, then clapped her hands. Ninpo, Rinpingakure no Jutsu. A blinding flash filled the arena. Fu formed a hardened shell on her hand and charged at Gaara, but his sand blocked the attack. What? My sand automatically defends me, blinding me won't work. Fine, try this. Fu leapt back and unleashed a tornado of powder while flying with wings from Chomai. If you're going to make a move, now's the time. All right, you asked for it. Fu howled, weaving hand signs. Katen, Gakikyu no Jutsu. A massive fireball shot forth. You're going out with a bang, that's how Fu finishes. She snapped her fingers. Repun Bakusai. The tornado exploded with a huge blast, shaking the walls. I'm glad I had Kushina draw protection seals last week, Sarutobi thought. Speaking of Kushina, where is she? You'd think she'd be here supporting her son. Kushina. Kushina sat in the stands, dressed in an Anbu outfit with her blade strapped to her back. To keep her cover, she couldn't cheer, but she had placed huge bets on Naruto and Hinata, already making a fortune. So Soichi won his match, meaning I've earned 300,000 Ryo. When Hinata wins, I'll add another 700,000, and if Naruto wins it all, I'll add 700 million more. If Hinata wins, I get 600 million, either way I can buy ramen for 3 months, Kushina thought, giggling at her expected winnings. Winner by knockout Gaara, Genma called, and the crowd cheered respectfully. So Gaara can also use the third Kazekage iron sand. Cool, Kushina muttered. For the next match, Shikamaru Nara vs Temari. Shikamaru was pushed from the competitor's box. Kushina laughed, recognizing her son as the cause. Hajime, Shikamaru extended his shadow from the arena's shade. Temari jumped back, drawing a line in the dirt with her fan. So your shadow can extend over any surface you're standing on like this wall's shadow. That gives you extra range, but no matter how far you stretch, your shadow's reach is capped at 15 meters and 32 centimeters. So just like Gaara said, she's a strategist. Shikamaru's in trouble, Asuma said. Temari's got this, long-range combat is her specialty, Kankuro said. I'd agree if I didn't know Shikamaru better than you, Asuma replied. You know something I don't. Of course I do. Like what? Just watch the match. Shikamaru tossed smoke bombs and dove into the trees. Temari launched wind jutsu after wind jutsu, trying to locate him. Man, I wish I knew some katen jutsu, Shikamaru thought. No use complaining, time to think. He formed the hand signs for thinking, then looked to the sky, reached into his kunai pouch, and began preparing his plan. Come out, coward, Temari shouted, then swung her fan again. Kametachi technique. A gust of wind surged forth, slicing through trees as two kunai flew toward her. She blocked them just as Shikamaru's shadow emerged from the foliage. Temari smirked but stayed still. Don't bother. As long as I'm behind this line, he can't reach me. The shadow kept advancing. What it's still coming? Temari leapt back, but the shadow halted just inches from her. She smiled and quickly drew another line. So close, Ino grumbled. Just then something partially eclipsed the sun. Temari, Kankuro yelled. Above you, a smoke bomb dropped onto the ground, and Temari jumped back again, narrowly avoiding the shadow. Eventually, the parachute landed, halting the shadow once more, barely before Temari for a third time. She slammed her fan down and crouched behind it. All right, I'll use a clone to distract him, then strike. Temari thought as Shikamaru's shadow retreated. She began forming hand signs. Clone no, suddenly, she froze, paralyzed. What? It took a while, but the Kagemain jutsu finally worked, Shikamaru said. But how? I was certain I stayed out of reach. Look behind you, I'll show you. Shikamaru turned his head, and Temari followed. Behind her was a small hole with Shikamaru's shadow creeping out. Recognize it? The hole behind you is where Gaara sent sand underground to create another exit point, and this one is where it surfaced. They're connected. I never imagined shadows could move underground. That was your mistake. Shikamaru began approaching, and Temari couldn't stop herself. As they closed in, Shikamaru raised his hand and so did Temari. All right, that's it, I surrender. The crowd fell silent in shock. What? Someone yelled, confusion buzzing throughout. Yeah, I'm good for another 30 seconds tops, then I'm done. This situation's a pain, and I already planned the next 200 moves in my head, but I'm out of chakra. This slacker clown outwitted me and just gives up. Well, that's to be expected from someone of Konoha's Nara clan, Temari thought, surprised but chuckling softly. Winner by forfeit, Temari, Genma announced. You outsmarted me, Nara. Not bad, Temari smiled. You're no slouch yourself. Maybe we could play a game of shogi sometime, Shikamaru asked. It's a date, Temari replied with a grin, and both walked off the field. Shino Aburame and Kankuro, please report to the arena, Genma called. Shino and Kankuro stepped forward to face each other. A puppet master versus the insect master, this won't last long, Naruto said. Why? Gaara asked. No matter who wins, Shino's insects will track Kankuro wherever he tries to hide. Hajime, the match unfolds just like the one between Shino and Kankuro during the invasion. Double knockout, no one advances. The crowd cheered as Genma announced the next match. Now Hinata Hyuga versus Sasuke Uchiha. The crowd buzzed with anticipation, two heirs of prestigious clans. Most expected Sasuke to win, but those who knew Hinata and her abilities believed otherwise. Hinata descended into the arena as Sasuke entered from the doorway. This is a blood feud match, meaning it doesn't end until the challenger spares their opponent, and that challenger is Hinata Hyuga. Otherwise, one person dies, the announcer declared. The crowd went silent, ready to protest, but Sarutobi stood firm. This ancient law dates back to my predecessor, the first Hokage. Though rarely practiced now, it's still valid. Hinata's decision was approved by the entire Shinobi Council, due to an unforgivable crime committed by Sasuke Uchiha. In my view, this is far more merciful than what Naruto OTSUTSUKI would have done, sending Sasuke to Hazuki Castle, sealing him with the deadly Uzumaki clan's blood curse seal to live in endless pain. I still would have done it, Kushina muttered quietly, sharing the disdain many Kunoichi felt for rapists, though she tried to steady herself. Hajime, Genma called. Hinata charged silently, unleashing a flurry of strikes that snapped bones and tore tendons. Sasuke cried out in pain, trying to evade. Kakashi-sensei, why is Hinata doing this? Can't she see she's torturing Sasuke-kun? Sakura asked. Hinata doesn't care, Kakashi replied flatly. She's had over a month to perfect techniques to kill Sasuke, but instead learned how to cause maximum pain without killing. That's her plan. Kakashi watched impassively. Why? Hinata has a deep hatred for rapists. Her mother was nearly assaulted during the Third Shinobi World War, and Hinata grew up where such crimes were punished harshly by the clan head. Though she never witnessed it, her father coldly taught her the most painful methods of attack. Sakura tried to intervene, but Kakashi stopped her. Why won't you stop her? Because I have no right. Besides, I don't want to. Many think Sasuke's crimes forgivable since he's the last Uchiha. But Hinata has every right to use all her power here. This could be an execution match, and that's what it's become. I have to do something. If you interfere, you'll be executed for high treason. High treason? Yes, watch. Hinata punched Sasuke so hard he slammed into the wall, coughing blood. Had enough, scum? I plan to save this for Naruto, but I guess you'll do, Sasuke said, closing his eyes, then opening them to reveal the Mangekyo. Who did you kill? Hinata growled. Doesn't matter. Die, Sasuke laughed as his eyes bled. Hinata activated her Tenseigin and covered herself in Jitodama black flames. The flames surged at her, blasting her, but were quickly extinguished. She peeled away, furious. You not only raped a Kunoichi but killed your best friend. I'm sick of this, Hinata said, appearing suddenly before Sasuke. Jukin Hu, Hak Sanbyakurokuju Ishiki. Gentle fist 8 trigrams 361 palms. Hinata struck his finger into Sasuke. Nisho, Yansho, Hachicho, Jirokusho, Sanji Nisho, Rokuju Yansho, Hayaku Niju Hachisho Sanbyakurokuju Ishiki. She shut down his chakra network and slammed him against the wall. Sasuke screamed in pain as his broken bones shattered further. You're pathetic, Sasuke, Hinata growled with a laugh. I'll spare you, but I'll gouge your eyes out and destroy them. She ripped his eyes from their sockets, placed them in a jar filled with preservative, then cast a genjutsu over the stadium to make it look like she crushed them. Spitting on Sasuke, she kicked him in the groin. Weak coward, disgrace, Hinata said, turning to leave. Suddenly, bird chirps echoed as Sasuke charged with a purple ball of lightning. Hinata reacted instantly, slicing off his arm with Raijin no Ken, kicking it away, then delivering a Juyuken strike to his heart. Sasuke coughed blood and collapsed dead. The crowd fell silent, witnessing the extinction of the Uchiha clan. "Nu!" Orochimaru shouted, throwing a smoke bomb to signal the invasion. Chaos erupted as Konoha was attacked. Naruto and Hinata exchanged looks and sprang into action. Gaara began transforming into Shukaku. Naruto nodded at Hinata, who slammed her palm on the ground. Kuchiyos no Jutsu. Kurama appeared in human form and nodded at Naruto. Kurama grabbed Gaara, and with Naruto's hand sign, they vanished far from the village. Hinata, we need to get back to the Hokage, Naruto said as they leapt toward the cage box, but a purple barrier rose suddenly. They landed near an Anbu squad. What's the situation? Naruto asked. The barrier burns anyone who touches it. 4 sound shinobi maintain it, so we can't get through to Hokage-sama, the Anbu captain replied. Leave it to us, Naruto said. You should help evacuate villagers or defend the village. Standing here won't help. The Anbu nodded, and Naruto helped Hinata slip through the barrier. They appeared beside the Hokage. Naruto, Hinata, let's finish this, Sarutobi said. The two charged as Sarutobi gathered energy. Naruto swung his sword and kicked at Orochimaru. Orochimaru dodged the blade and blocked the kick but was struck from behind by Hinata's Juyuken. Orochimaru jumped back, weaving hand signs. Kuchiyos. Edo Tensei. Coffins rose with kanji markings for 1st, 2nd, and 4th Hokage. Oh no you don't. Naruto formed counter signs, but Orochimaru's shadow clone stabbed him in the back with Kusanagi. Naruto broke the fake blade, destroyed the clone, and healed, but it gave Orochimaru time to raise the final coffin. And 3rd, Orochimaru said with a dark smile. Bastard, Hinata growled as the coffins opened, revealing the 1st, 2nd, and 4th Hokage. It's been a long time, Saru, Hashirama said. Oh, it's you, Tobirama replied. You've aged, Sarutobi. I can't believe I'm forced to battle my own kin like this. What a wicked scheme, Sarutobi growled. A summoning technique. He's employed the forbidden Edo Tensei. How audacious. Tabarama remarked as 3 coffins descended behind him. Then answer me, Sarutobi, Hashirama said. Does this summoning jutsu mean we're compelled to fight you? Enough dwelling on the past, Orochimaru sneered. It's time to begin. Wherever you dwell, conflict always follows. Isn't it wonderful? Orochimaru taunted. How tragic, Minato said. To sacrifice my life for Konoha's safety, only to be revived and forced to battle my comrades. Nothing good can come of this, shown disrespect to the dead and tampered with time, Sarutobi said. Orochimaru lifted 3 kunai, holding one with his tongue, and stabbed one into Hashirama and another into Tabarama. Steam rose from the coffins as they revived. But when Orochimaru tried the third on Minato, the kanji for death appeared on his forehead, burning the kunai and tag to ashes. Sorry, Orochimaru, but Shinigami-sama won't let you control me. My life belongs to him, so I serve no one else. Minato leapt and landed beside his son. So, it looks like father and son fight side by side, huh, Dad? Seems that way. Let's see how much you've improved. Minato took a battle stance and drew a kunai. Hinata stepped next to Naruto, smirking, while Naruto eyed the 2 opponents. Which one do you want, Haim? I'll take Nidaime-sama. I want to test my suit and affinity against him. Dad, you and Jiji team up to take Orochimaru. I'll fight Shadaime-sama. Right. Minato and Sage Mode Sarutobi stood united, then all 4 charged. Naruto vs Hashirama. Naruto activated his Sharingan and charged as Hashirama mirrored him. They exchanged blows with Hashirama using Nature Fist style to counter Naruto's Dragon Fist. Both fought fiercely, eventually striking each other. They flew back and flipped upright. Naruto formed hand signs, finishing with Ox. Reikiri! Naruto sped forward, piercing Hashirama's heart. The former shinobi no Kami pulled back to punch, but Naruto was quicker. The attack passed through him, and Naruto kicked, sending Hashirama flying. The wound began healing the moment Naruto withdrew his hand, and Hashirama surged after him again. Baka, Naruto thought, dodging attacks. Edo Tensei bodies regenerate as long as they're bound to this world. Naruto countered, kicking again and blasting Hashirama back. Katen Goka Mekyaku, Naruto unleashed a fire wave. Mokyuten, Hobai no Jutsu, Hashirama created a dragon-faced dome shield blocking the flames. All right, think Naruto. Every jutsu has a flaw, even Edo Tensei. You've studied this technique thoroughly and know its ins and outs. Edo Tensei summons the dead by sacrificing a living host, and damage regenerates while the jutsu remains active. You want to use my chakra. That could give you an advantage, maybe even a way out. Lobo said, catching his Jinchuriki's attention. Of course, Jidodama, they could easily destroy Edo Tensei bodies. Naruto entered Rakudo mode, and the Jidodama hovered behind him. But I must be cautious, I can't use Kamui now. Naruto formed a hand sign. Senpo, Intan Reiha, purple lightning shot from his hands at Hashirama, who formed a hand sign and erected a wooden wall that the lightning shattered easily. Hashirama leapt to punch Naruto. Rimbo, Shadow blocked the strike, then Naruto swung the staff formed from the Jidodama, severing Hashirama's arm. He slammed a Rasengan into Hashirama, blasting him back into the ground. Naruto eyed Hashirama. As expected, the arm didn't regenerate, but the Rasengan wound did. Naruto formed 4 more shadows, restraining Hashirama, then poked his forehead, destroying the tag embedded there. Well done, young Uchiha, Hashirama said, smiling. I can't move and you found a way to neutralize Edo Tensei. Yeah, I have. What is that jutsu restraining me? 4 shadows from the invisible limbo world which overlaps with ours. And I guess they can interact with this world. 1 blocked my attack. Yes. Before we proceed, I must secure you further. Naruto produced black rods and stabbed them into Hashirama's back. The shadows then retreated to Naruto. Thank you, Shadaime-sama. Now I have an important question. What is the Will of Fire? Simply put, the Will of Fire means the whole village is like one family, and every Konoha shinobi cherishes, loves, believes, and fights to protect the village, just as past generations have. Thank you, Shadaime-sama. It's just like what OTSUTSUKI told me during my brief training with him. I hope someday to meet an Indra transmigrant and speak with them. Asura, who's that? You and Madara were destined to clash repeatedly. He was Indra's transmigrant, and the 2 brothers fought endlessly with you caught in between. That explains the kinship I felt with Madara were resurrections of brothers. Yes. That's why Madara hated you so much. Indra was the elder but was cast aside. If I meet Midora, maybe I can talk to him about this. Good luck with that, Shadame-sama. Now that I see you properly, young Uchiha, you radiate my chakra, Midora's chakra, and one similar to Mido's. I'm not just an Uchiha, I'm also Senju and Uzumaki. What? Hashirama looked puzzled. I am the same body as the Rakuto Sennin, so I possess Uchiha, Senju, and Uzumaki lineage. My goal is to bring peace and protect my loved ones. You've humored me enough, young one. I believe you would make a fine Hokage. Thank you, Hashirama-sama. Please tell me your name so I can properly send you off before returning you to the afterlife. Naruto. Naruto OTSUTSUKI. Then Naruto OTSUTSUKI, I Hashirama Senju wish you well. I hope to see you in the afterlife, but not anytime soon. Hashirama smiled as Naruto placed an open palm on his head. A small hole appeared, and the Jidodama obliterated Hashirama's Edo Tensei form. Naruto felt a cold shiver down his spine and sensed an aura of death fill the air. He knew this feeling well. It only occurred when the Shinigami entered the mortal realm. Naruto knew only one jutsu that could cause this. Jiji, Naruto dashed toward his grandfather figure. Hinata versus Tobirama. 5 minutes earlier, Hinata and Tobirama faced off, chakra clashing fiercely. Both charged and exchanged fist and chakra strikes. Hinata took the offensive, aiming to disrupt Tobirama's chakra network, shutting it down bit by bit. Tobirama used Edo Tensei's healing to recover from her gentle fist strikes and pressed his assault. Hinata landed a strong punch, sending Tobirama flying, but he leapt up, weaving hand signs. Suten. Suiryu Kobaku. Water bullets flew toward Hinata, who dodged swiftly and formed her own signs. Suten, Bakusui Shoha. Hinata released a massive water wave which Tobirama dodged, but she smirked and melted into water. Tobirama searched to sense her but was blasted from behind by Raiten, Rasengan. Tobirama was stunned by water and electricity, sent flying back. Hinata clapped her hands and entered Sage mode. She thrust her hands forward. Senpo Mizu Megami no Ken. Fists of water molecules gathered and struck relentlessly, overwhelming Tobirama. After the endless barrage, Tobirama reformed. Hinata cracked her neck. From the corner of her eye, she saw Naruto slice off Hashirama's arm with the Jidodama, then Sarutobi and Minato overpower Orochimaru. Hinata focused back on Tobirama, who had fully reformed. He drew kunai and threw them, but Hinata spun. Hakesho, Kaiten. The kunai and Tobirama were blasted apart. Hinata seized the moment, firing a bone that pierced Tobirama's stomach. He smiled as he began turning to dust. You fight well, young Hyuga. Keep the will of fire alive and keep that blonde Uchiha in check, Tobirama said. He's in good hands, Nidame-sama, and so is this village. Take care of my Raijin no Ken, it was a gift from my father. Tobirama faded to ash. Hinata sensed a cold presence and saw Naruto rush to Sarutobi, shouting, Jiji. Hinata followed. They saw Minato standing still. Naruto tried to reach Sarutobi but was pushed back by an invisible barrier. Don't try, Naruto, the Shinigami forbids interference with contracts, Minato said sadly. This is Sandaime-sama's fate to face. It's over. The Shinigami's hand reached into Sarutobi's soul, ripping his shirt, then grasped Orochimaru's hidden soul. What is this feeling? This is bad. Orochimaru raised his right hand. The Kusanagi blade floated and shot toward Sarutobi as the Shinigami's grasp pulled at Orochimaru's soul. Die! Orochimaru and Sarutobi shouted as their techniques began to take effect. Enma, sensing the hidden danger, shifted back into his monkey form and lunged to grab the blade, managing to catch it. But the weapon still grazed Sarutobi's left lung, causing him to cough up blood again. Old man, why didn't you dodge? The Shinigami's hand resumed its motion, pulling at the soul. Shiki Fujin, this sealing jutsu demands a sacrifice. The user must surrender their own soul to the Shinigami. It's a technique that costs the wielder their life. Orochimaru struggled to form a hand sign, but nothing happened. I can't perform my jutsu. There was no need to evade the blade, my fate is sealed. Once the seal is complete, my soul will be consumed. This is the technique of the hero who saved this village. You will perish alongside me by this technique. So, this is the jutsu that seals the Kyuubi. I will now extract your soul from your body and then seal it. My body won't move. The Shinigami's hand continued to withdraw. You should be able to see by now. Your soul is already halfway out. Those whose souls are sealed by this technique can never reach heaven. Instead, they suffer forever inside the Shinigami's stomach. The souls of both the sealer and the sealed are bound by hatred and locked in eternal battle. Orochimaru's gaze shifted, and he spotted the Shinigami hovering behind Sarutobi. That thing, that's the Shinigami. Don't mess with me, old man. Like I'll just let you have your way. Orochimaru flexed his right index and middle fingers, and the Kusanagi blade inched forward as the Shinigami's hand retreated slightly, returning part of Orochimaru's soul back to his body. Hurry up and die, he sneered darkly. Kurama versus Shukaku and Gaara, the two-tailed beasts clashed fiercely, tearing the terrain apart with each strike. Kurama slashed Shukaku across the face, who responded by firing an air bullet. Kurama roared, shattering it, then struck Shukaku with his tails. You're not enjoying this much, are you? Kurama asked. To be fair, Shukaku and I aren't really trying, Gaara replied, as his transformed form unleashed a wave of sand. Kurama countered with a blast of blue fire. I get that, but I'm still a bit bored. Time to finish this. Yeah, I guess we've had enough. All right, this one will sting, just a heads up. Kurama inhaled deeply, gathering an enormous amount of chakra. Oh boy, Gaara braced himself. Kitsune Katen, Hurin. Foxfire style, Firestorm, back with Orochimaru and Sarutobi. You're quite stubborn, Sarutobi-sensei, Orochimaru said, flexing his hands as he tried to push the blade deeper into Sarutobi's heart. But the weapon didn't budge, and no matter how many times Orochimaru gestured, nothing changed. You still don't get it, Orochimaru. Konoha is my home. I am its foundation. That's why I said I'd shatter that foundation. As long as the villagers fight to protect what's important to them, you won't destroy this village. I'm not so sure about that. Don't underestimate the Hokage. The Shinigami's arm suddenly tore at Orochimaru's soul again. Impossible, how you shouldn't have any chakra left. Chakra and ninjutsu aren't the only measures of a shinobi's strength. Sarutobi coughed more blood, feeling his life slipping away. It seems I don't have the power to fully extract your soul, but your ambitions end here, Sarutobi roared. It's not over yet, Orochimaru shouted. My ambitions will not end. I will punish you for drowning yourself in ninjutsu. I will strip you of all your techniques. What did you say? Orochimaru struggled as the Shinigami dragged his soul's arms further out before slicing them off. The seal is complete, Sarutobi yelled, a seal marking appearing on his stomach as Orochimaru's arms turned purple and withered. My arms! Orochimaru watched helplessly as they decayed before his eyes. There you have it. Your arms are useless now, and without them you'll never form another hand sign. Ninjutsu is forever beyond your reach. Your plan to destroy Konoha has failed. You old fool, give me back my arms. You're a fool, Orochimaru. My only regret is that we can't die together. Sarutobi's voice grew faint as his soul was consumed. You near-dead fool, how dare you steal my ninjutsu? Orochimaru screamed as Sarutobi collapsed. Naruto and Hinata, tears in their eyes, watched on. Farewell, Naruto, Hinata, the future of this village I leave to you. With that, the third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi, fell to the ground lifeless. Naruto's fury exploded. The invisible barrier that held him back shattered as he formed a Rasengan, channeling all 5 elemental affinities. He charged at Orochimaru and slammed the attack down. Shin, Rasengan. God. Rasengan, Orochimaru was torn apart, and in a final scream he vanished into nothingness. The blast destroyed the barrier. Naruto turned to the sound ninja, his Rinnegan blazing. Sink into despair. This is the power of Naruto OTSUTSUKI, divine power. Naruto unleashed a wave of chakra, shaking the sound ninja with fear. If you want to live, run. Cling to your miserable lives. The 4 sound ninja began retreating. Naruto glanced at his father, then back at them. What do you think, Tusan? Should I spare them? Why not? They can't harm you anyway. Let them live, but let them remember this day if they ever threaten your comrades again. Naruto nodded, and the sound ninja fled under his deadly gaze that clearly said, Leave or die. Minato and Naruto exchanged looks. My son, there is so much I want to say, so much I want to apologize for, but there's no time. I must return to the Shinigami's stomach. Naruto started to cry, embracing his father. Minato hugged him back, while the Shinigami rolled his eyes at the sentimental display. Chop, chop, I have better things to do than watch you two cry over the unfairness of death, the Shinigami said. You can't have him, Naruto growled, glaring at the Shinigami. Mortal, you've got some nerve, but what can a 14-year-old do against a god? This, Naruto glared and formed 2 hand signs. Jido. Rin Tensei no Jutsu. Just like with Kushina, Minato's body steamed as cracks closed and the whites of his eyes returned. Seconds later, Minato Namikaze was alive again. The Shinigami groaned and facepalmed. Damn brat with the Rinnegan, the Shinigami muttered, dreading the paperwork ahead. Well, since you're no longer dead, I'm leaving empty-handed. Minato Namikaze, you're free and your contract is cancelled. And you, little brat, if it weren't for you trading Orochimaru for your father, I'd be pretty angry, so don't do that again. The Shinigami vanished. Naruto looked at his father, who laughed and playfully tousled his hair. The two Namikaze men rushed off to repel the invasion, while Hinata shook her head and jumped in to help where she could. Time skip. One day later, the entire village gathered for Sarutobai's funeral. The civilian council tried to make Sasuke the center of attention, but the Shinobi Council shut that down, saying the Hokage was more important. Today we mourn the passing of the third Hokage and all those who fell in the invasion, Himura, Sarutobai's teammate, said as rain began to fall. Kakashi looked up. Even the heavens weep, he thought, watching Naruto place a hand on Konohamaru's shoulder as the boy wept for his grandfather. He was a true shinobi, giving his life to protect this village and stop a traitor, Himura continued. Naruto scowled but let it slide. Kind of harsh to give your achievement to someone else, Lobo said, sensing Naruto's fury and sorrow. I know, but honestly that kill should have been his, Naruto replied, stepping forward to place a flower on the coffin, offering a quiet prayer and shedding a tear. Hinata then stepped forward to do the same. Hours later, the funeral ended, and the council convened for an emergency meeting to decide a new Hokage. Danzo smiled, sensing his chance, especially with the fire daimyo present. With Hiruzen gone, a new Hokage must be chosen, Danzo said, receiving murmurs of approval. Yes, that's right, Himura said. I nominate Danzo Shirama. Just then, the doors opened, and a cold laugh echoed. 3 figures entered. Did you hear that, Soichi? Danzo Shirama Hokage? A female voice sneered. That old war hawk would drag Konoha into war faster than you and I can eat ramen, a male voice replied. Besides, with me here, the question of who will be Hokage is settled, said a third voice. The doors closed, revealing Minato, Kushina, and Naruto. Why Yandame-sama? Several council members stammered. Yandame-sama is here to end the demon. One councilman declared, only for Minato to slam a Rasengan into his head. Next person who calls my son a demon will suffer a worse fate, Minato growled. Why your SS? Son, yes, Naruto is my son and the only one I trust with the burden I gave him. Minato paced, chakra flaring as he struggled to control his anger. Care to explain why my final wish was ignored? He's a monster.